Danfall offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfall, Africa. To learn more, visit danfall.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again from Dakar, Senegal. We're live again from Dakar, Senegal. Everyone, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. We're going to have a very interesting conversation this evening. Got a couple of announcements. We had a great day today. We went to Gorée Island, which is home to the slave dungeons, but there's a lot to do, a lot of activities to partake in on Gorée, outside of just visiting the slave dungeons. I would say that Senegal, when it comes to tourism, when it comes to countries in West Africa, they do a great job as far as just maintaining ease of, I would say, getting to and in the different tourist sites. I hate using the word tourist, but it is what it is. And there's a lot to see. I want to give a big shout out to Senegal and their tourism. Let's hear it. Again, guys, hit that like button, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. We are rolling to Nigeria. Nigeria is August 2nd through the 11th. August 2nd to the 11th. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO, .Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa to learn more. We're also going to Zanzibar and Kenya in September, and we're doing Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Sierra Leone in November. Then we're doing Benin in January for the Voodoo Festival. So once again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa to learn more. We will love to host you on one of our mini excursions where we have a good time, eat good food, immerse ourselves into the culture, and really try as much as possible to integrate ourselves into, with the local communities. That's why I don't really like calling them tours. I mean, we do touristy stuff, but I like to call them more along the line of experiences. Let's jump into tonight's topic. Macron, who's the president of France, he's in East Africa, and he summoned or invited, some say summoned, some say invited, African heads of states to Nairobi to discuss, ever since France has pretty much been removed from the Sahel. They're like, listen, we gotta make some new partnerships, some more partnerships here in in Africa. So let's start in East Africa. But should the Sahel, the AES alliance, should they feel betrayed on how France is being welcomed with open arms back to Africa, or is this just business? Is this just this just business meetings? This is, hey, listen, we got to handle business with the AES or not. How should the AES feel about this? What do you guys thought? What do you guys thought? What do you guys think? Is it just business? Or, should here we go. Or should the AES or should these AES be upset? Should they take it personal? So I mean, they rolled out the carpet for Macron. They had the dancers, dancing, when he landed, had rolled out the red carpet, blocked the roads. Like the amount of attention and security detail that Macron gets in Kenya, I guarantee another African leader won't get that as well. I know for a fact other African leaders don't get that much detail, security, and I mean, he's out here cooking food. Hold on, here we go. Running. Hold on, here we go. Let me pull up this clip real quick. I mean, he's having a great time.
You're gonna feel your biceps working.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Follow if you want to. Pinch of salt.
Joey.
Follow if you want to. Nobody can stop you.
I'm John.
Shoes.
Asante sana, William. Kwa ukaribisho wako. I'm pleased to come back 7 years after my first trip. I followed the instructions. It was the first visit ever of the French president in your country. You have demonstrated to us that you are a true friend. Take care, William.
You're gonna feel your biceps.
I mean, he's being called a true friend. Shout out to Babaliko 9354. Thank you for that holla. AES should take this personal and see it for what it is, traitors. I mean, now Macron is a true friend of Kenya.
Working.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Follow if you want to. Pinch of salt.
Joey.
Follow if you want to. Nobody can stop you.
I'm Jumbo. Asante sana, William. Kwa ukaribisho wako. I'm pleased to come back 7 years after my first trip. I followed the instructions. It was the first visit ever of the French president in your country. You have demonstrated to us that you are a true friend. Take care, William.
You're gonna feel your biceps working.
Guys, is this just business? Hey, is this just business? Should we be upset? A brother, or in this case, brothers, got to do what they got to do. They got to keep this thing going. Hey, the AES left ECOWAS. What that got to do with us? France pulled out. They kicked France out. France has been looting the continent for years. What's that got to do with us? You know, should people be upset? Should people be protesting? What are your guys' thoughts? Are we reading too much into this? Okay, I think he's in Ethiopia now. Same treatment. Hold on, hold on. Here we go. Now he's in Ethiopia. I mean, got the Ethiopian girls dancing for him. Somebody said they forced themselves out of ECOWAS. Nobody forced them to leave. Uh-oh.
Comme on dit en bon français, il y a un coup d'État au Mali.
But guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. Guys, just add the link to the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo.
They may be in their own society, back home.
There we go.
Home in France, Emmanuel Macron is mocked by his own people. But in Africa, he does what colonialists do. No matter how lowly placed they may be in their own society, they assume they are lords over Africans by default. This was on full display during his latest visit to Kenya. Macron was in Africa to conduct nothing more than a humiliation ritual, and everyone involved should bury their heads in shame. Let me show you 3 humiliating events from this tour. First, he visited an elementary school where children were made to gaze at him like some kind of hero. You know, sort of like when an American YouTuber shows up in Africa to mock you by sinking a borehole while children are lined up to cheer him on. It may be seen as a nice gesture to channel part of his YouTube revenue towards a charitable cause in Africa. But what many people do not know is that the same system makes it impossible for you to earn as much as he does on the same platform, simply because of your geographical location. Another incident in which the colonizer behaved as the colonizer occurred during an interactive forum between the French envoy and supposed African thought leaders. Macron stood up, interrupted the session, and scolded the African audience as if he were talking to children. Picture a slave master wielding his whip in a slave plantation. Yeah, that kind of sight.
So then.
Already? You're not waiting your turn.
Excuse me, everybody. Hey! I'm sorry, guys, but it's impossible to speak about culture, to have people like that super inspired coming here, making a speech with such a noise.
How did this guy get in office? Like, who voted for him? I'm trying to figure out how he was elected. JC Inc., thank you for $1.99. Holla, the Reconquest.
So this is a total lack of respect. So I suggest, if you want to have bilaterals or speak about somebody else, something else, you have bilateral rooms or you go outside. If you want to stay here, we listen to the people and we play in the same game. Okay? Thank you.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is called leadership.
Oh Lord.
Leadership, indeed. He had just called you noisemakers and disrespectful to his so-called benevolent visit, and I'm certain his anger may have been compounded by hearing some people in the audience speaking Indian native languages. Sort of like what happens in the colonial education system handed to Africa, where speaking a native language is considered vernacular, and the names of culprits are taken down as noisemakers. Mr. Macron, despite all his posturing, still does not see Africans as anything beyond people he can order around. Imagine an African leader on the tour of Europe grabbing the microphone in the middle of a session to hush the audience. I'm trying to imagine that. Regardless of what anybody says in his defense, whether they claim the audience was disorderly or rowdy, Macron had no right to stand up and do that on African soil. He's a visitor, nothing more. And finally, look at this. A major highway in Nairobi was completely shut down for Macron's convoy to pass through. Streets inside the capital were also closed so Macron could jog. You know, kind of reminds you of this. Meanwhile, this is how African leaders are treated when in Europe. Again, everyone involved in this whole charade should be ashamed of themselves. Macron did not visit Kenya for the progress of Africa. He came to remind the continent who the master is. Such a visit should never be welcomed, certainly not with a red carpet. I am Macron.
Man, that was so beautiful. He laid that down exactly.
Oh,
How
go
you
ahead, man.
doing, Dinus?
Good. How are you?
Good, brother. Peace and love in the chat, man. You know what we're seeing right now? You know, it's like everyone has that one girl that gets around, and everyone know that one girl that gets around that's like a problem. That's like very grimy and a savage. And then you try to tell your boys, hey, listen, man, you got to be careful with this girl, man, because like, yo, she's very grimy. And then your boy be like, nah, man, yo, she bad, man. I still want her, man. Like, yo, but this girl is a problem. Nah. I still want her. That's exactly what you're seeing now. It's a bitter ex-girlfriend. It's on a tangent. I mean, he's in Kenya. He can't even go 2 minutes without talking about the AES, right? And then, I mean, you would think that what happened in Mali, he would condemn it. Even his EU partners went and condemned the attack. But nope, what did he have to do? He had to make it about himself. He had to talk about the French soldiers that got unalived. Well, I mean, majority of them didn't get unalived. They died from accidents and stuff. And but he couldn't even say, "Oh, I condemn those attacks" out his own mouth. Instead, he says, they kicked us out. Well, if they haven't kicked us out, man, then they wouldn't have this terrorism. It wouldn't have been that bad. I mean, anyone can sit there and look. They had more terrorist attacks from 2012 all the way till Simi Goita's time compared to now. I mean, yes, they have attacks, but it's not as bad because right now their army is strong. Let that have been 10 years ago and those 4,000 terrorists went and came to Mali, Mali would have fell within hours. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a bitter ex-girlfriend that's mad, and everyone can see the data in France. It's the debt to rate ratio is bad. So France needs to go pivot. That's why France is going to East Africa. It's going to Kenya. It's going to Ethiopia. Even going to Botswana for the uranium. That's all. But we warned our East African brothers about France. If they decide to do business with them, it's cool. Come on, so down as you seen that, right? With Macron. Would he ever go to the EU talking to people like that in the crowd?
Of course not.
No. He would not even go to America. He wouldn't even go to China doing nothing like that. He did that because he felt comfortable, because he sees Africans as beneath him. Come on, you saw him running with the guy from Kenya. He wanted to get a photo op, but none of the kids were showing no love. He's an egotistical narcissist. And he's going to continue doing what he's doing. But like I said, I'm going to end it quickly. I'm not going to be on too long. But just know the AES is growing economically. As everyone knows, Burkina Faso GDP, according to the World Bank, not me, the World Bank, the GDP grew from 19 million to 27 million. You know, they about to have the fossil rail that's about to come. They about to have Air Sahel. So pretty much, all those flights that used to be very expensive in West Africa is going to be cheap in the Sahel. The progress is coming, and I'm going to end it like that.
All right, go ahead, Afro DJ, go ahead.
Okay, greetings. What's up? Yeah, actually, the Macron situation, I don't know if you heard, but he claimed to be a real Pan-African. I don't know if you heard that, but in the French-speaking sphere, everybody is questioning this positioning and wondering, okay, what is this mess? And looking at Ruto, actually, I think we just need to see it for what it is, and whether we want to react to it or not, it's up to us. Now, in terms of policy, in terms of interest, what is the interest of the Africans? Do they still want to be under the foot of Europe? Do they still want to be under the foot of America, and so on and so forth? So I think we need to learn from our past mistakes or past experiences, and also we need to not lose our memory, because what we see happening in South Africa is telling us that we're quite losing sight of what we really want, which is freedom and like sovereignty. Now, for Ruto is actually pretty close from people like Bill Gates. Bill Gates being very active in Africa, whether it's East Africa or West Africa, regarding policies, health policies, and everything regarding, demographics. And if he is close to Gates, and now he's like opening doors for Macron, but we also need to recognize that Macron is right now doing public relations. So he's making his Africa tour, So, he's just trying to also, clean his image, because the situation in Sahel was not good for France, neither politically, in terms of public relations, like communications, but also economically, because France right now is a mess. I'm there, and I see the prices of the gas and everything, and and French are unhappy, and they is really trying to make up for what's messed, and this kind of situation, like where you see him everywhere and being received everywhere and everything, it's pretty much operations also from think tanks. There is a think tank called FMES, among others, and they've been and I invite people to go look for their page. It's a think tank with leaders in the military field. They're associated with military schools, French military schools, and things like that. So winning Africans' minds, winning Africans' heart, is also a war tactic. So we need to remember that. And regarding the AES, which is facing attacks from neighboring countries like Mauritania, Algeria, and also France and even Ukraine, they need to hit fast and strong, because actually they tried to behead Mali, and they will try turn after turn to get rid of all the AES, because their interest, or their bounty is at stake. So it's going to be a hold for now.
Go ahead, say James.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for having me once again. Shout out to the panelists that have spoken before me. Dennis, Macron said that AES is not fighting terrorism. So I just want to ask everybody else, what happened in last month on the 25th of April?
Mhm.
Did we have tea with these people when they came to Mali?
No.
Okay, so these are the lies that these people are pushing on us, and we have the right to respond. And some people get mad when we, the AES, we speak on our own defense, and Africans are not used to that. Nobody's against French going to Kenya to do business. No one is against that. We really, like my man Mansake was saying, we had a bad divorce, and somebody is still in their feelings. Yeah, they have not picked up all everything they left in the Sahel. So he said, if Mali said they don't want them, they left. It's not a lie. They haven't left. They want to come back. It's like that girl that Mansake was talking about. That girl wants to come back. So they have a way of begging us to come back. These people are violent. They are savages. And they're going to show you whenever they can, they will show that to you. That's how they move in West Africa. So them leaving is another fallacy, right? Donis, the former prime minister of Mali, is having a little difficulties with Assimi Goïta. Shout out to Shogel Kokala Maiga. He had to respond to Macron. With all these lies been saying in Kenya, no one forced them to leave. They did not want to work with Russians. After over almost a decade in Mali, the people of Mali were questioning them now. You guys have been here for a minute. We've been paying for your stay. Where are the results? Where are the results? This is the problem we have with the French. When the people ask questions, it becomes a problem. So we have the right, like everybody else across the world. We should ask questions. We are taxpayers in our nations. We have to ask questions. The leadership that we voted for, we have to go to them and ask questions. If you are our partner, we should question your motives as well. So Africans are not below the standards. We have to look at your actions on the continent and question exactly what you are bringing to us. If you are not bringing anything, you should go. That don't mean hate. That don't mean disrespect. So he's on there talking about, we brought the Russian. We should bring anybody that wants to help us. Why is that a problem to him? So if you have a problem with Russia, go to Russia directly. You don't go to us. He's supporting now. So since he's saying that, so since we told them to leave, now they have to side with our enemy to fight us. That's bad. That's why we are talking to this African, West African. I'm not what Kenyans do is what Kenyans do. And I'm from West Africa. I'm talking about Tinubu, the ringleader. Those are the one I'm talking about. Those people who were talking about Francophone Africa, telling us that, oh, we couldn't leave French because we too tight to them. We love their culture. Every time we want to unite Africa, the Francophone Africans don't want to do anything. Donis, look at them now. History is teaching us a great lesson that these people been the problem. This is not Francophone Africa. These are these people that are doing this. The ringleader being Tinubu. These are the disgrace of Africa that we are talking about. Your region is in fire, but you can't travel to Niger. Can you imagine Tinubu crossing the border going to Niger? You know how many lives it could have saved? Just by the virtue of him going to Niger, you know how many problems Tinubu could have solved? But he said, no, I'm going to Europe. I'm going to see Macron. I'm going to see Macron in Kenya. That's the leadership we have in Africa. And when, as the AES, we speak on it, we are hateful. We left ECOWAS. Yesterday, I was telling you, ECOWAS was created by military leaders in Africa. These people love their country. No matter what you can accuse them of, they love their countries. That's why they created ECOWAS. In 1990, they turned it over to these people, what you are seeing now. And they took it and then went and gave it to the French. You know, Traore and them, they came to power and they saw it. This is a tool for the West. We can't work in it. And they left. And you got Lewis coming on here and say we could have reformed ECOWAS. We left ECOWAS. How long did we when did we leave ECOWAS? Did they reform anything? We're not part of ECOWAS anymore. Did they reform anything to your liking, Lewis? No, they did not. They kept the status quo. What does the status quo mean? You should ask your leader what the status quo mean. It means sitting on Macron's lap. That's what the status quo mean. That's why they don't want to reform it. They know exactly what AES saw in it. Traore is not going to give Burkina Faso to them. Mali is not going to give Mali to them. Niger is not going to do that. We saw it. So what are we trying to do is going to take a long time. We're going to take the beating. We're going to take the disrespect. We're going to take everything that's going to come with us. But at the end of the day, we're going to look tall. And nobody's going to come in our region and make us feel inferior. We're going to look tall. When this is said and done, we will know exactly the sellout of West Africa. And we are on a mission. We're going to tell everybody in West Africa who are the sellout. Whether they don't want to hear it, we're going to tell them every occasion we get. We're going to tell them that, until things get better. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, greetings. St. James, well done. Good submission, man. I've been saying this long time that, in a region like West Africa, we have, a country like Nigeria that have the highest population, with the biggest, number of military. We know, for example, ECOMOG, not ECOWAS. ECOMOG is a military faction of ECOMOG, okay? That was, founded by majority of West African leaders, including, those, in the Francophone countries. It was actually amazing. It's where the British West Africa and French West Africa came together and said, we're going to protect our sovereignty, so we do not need, foreigners to come and solve our problems like what we're going through in the Sahel. And obviously we have a sellout like Tinubu who hijacked everything. I mean, the man is obsessed with France. But for the fact that, when he won his presidency, the first country he visited after all the problem that went through Sahel, he went to France. He kept going there, keep going there. Everyone is like, why? Even in Nigeria, and even his own people are saying, why are you doing this? Your brothers are struggling. You're trying to sanction them. You're trying to destroy them. Why are you going to France? They're trying to step away from all the Nigerian media outlets. Shout out to them. They was all saying the same thing. Why is this president just got elected? Why is he going to France? Nigeria is not a French colony. Nigeria is a British colony. Nigeria always been working with the British throughout, even when they started Boko Haram. Sometime in some extent, America. But why France? There's something fishy going on. There was something fishy. I'm telling you, there's something fishy about this man and Macron. And it's funny how he turned up there, like a beggar with his teeth, as a crooked hat. People can see that. And even the way the Kenyan guy received him, you can tell the guy is a weirdo. The problem is that we have in Africa is we don't have any unity, and outsiders can see this, and they're going to make that. They're going to take the advantage of it. It's going to happen. They will use the coastal Africans against the inland Africans, and they will use Anglophone against Francophone. They will use East African against West African. They will try and use all kind of dirty tricks. This is the typical French problem. The French, they are not nice people. In the UK, we deal with these people for years. There's nothing we haven't done. Where I live right now, if you mention French, they want to chase you out. People don't like French people. They always fight dirty. And it's a cancer that we have in West Africa we need to get rid of. And I hope when the AES countries finally get their liberation from the French, finally, which they already have, they could actually get rid of that language. Absolutely, get rid of the language. If you're going to speak Bambara, Mosi, Mandinka, Fula, or any other language, African Niger Congo language, adopt that language. Get rid of this French because it annoys me when I hear black people speaking French anyway. Who speak French in this world? They have been like this. The reality is, look at how they foothold in Africa. Look at how they deal with the French countries. French countries, their central bank is in Paris. God's sake, how can that be possible? I mean, the reserve, all these countries in Francophone countries, they reserve their money, their entire destiny is actually in the hands of the French. And these people haven't had enough. This is all about the energy sector because of the AI. That's what this is all about. I said this because I had that on the news today. At the moment, Macron is laughing because the UK is going through certain political turmoil. The market have moved to France because of the war in Ukraine. And the only country at the moment who is profiting from this are the French. Do you know why? Because the French are less involved, they're less reliant on fossil fuel, but they rely on the nuclear energy. And they are making money by supplying these. I know that he knows his reserve is running out soon. Those uranium that he been getting cheap from the Sahel is running out. And he's actually trying to get back in. He's not going to get it. In the long run, he's going to fail. Because at the moment, he's laughing. He's thinking, oh, I'm the only country who have cheap energy. I'm supplying all these countries cheap energy, even though the Ukraine and the Iran war is going on. That's exactly what the market was saying today in the UK. I heard it. That's all the pundits were saying. So the guy, he's man, these people, they really take us for granted, man. And it's sad. And, it's all about their interest. And the funny part of it all, they actually are, preparing to go to the right. And they're very anti us. They're getting ready. At the moment, they're teaming up against Muslims. I'd guarantee you they're going to focus that needle back on us. It's going to turn back on the black people again. And I noticed some trend that's going on. They bring in few Africans in the right wing political arena to fool us, to make us look like we belong, because that's what they do. They bring few black people into their right wing agenda to make you feel like you fit in. And this is why I argue with people like Louis that come here, because I know some of his people that got involved in the politics in the UK have been totally disgraced. And some of the Nigerians who came here not long ago, they don't understand how these people work, how the system work. I blame us as well because we brought these people in the game. My people from Sierra Leone are people who came here early on, who knows how the system works. We brought these people in. We thought they would have been better, but they're actually not. They're sucking up to the wrong people. They'll live to regret it. I'm telling you, because I'm seeing what's going on. I listen to all their media outlets. I can hear what they're saying, and I know exactly what's cooking. The right wing agenda, the right wing populists, the gaslighting, is happening, and they're coming. This AI that they're going after, all these critical minerals, is gonna be there in their hands. They need it desperately, and they need the energy to fuel it. I pass the mic. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Kofi. Now mute yourself, Kofi. Kofi. All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. You guys can't be calling in on your Obama phones.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now, Kofi. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we saw Kenya, right? They were sent to, police Haiti, and I don't think we should be surprised that Ruto is talking to Macron. Macron and France, they got money stemming from their colonies, their francophone colonies that they have in West Africa. So they're just looking for a new place to start processing their products. They're just looking for a new home, and of course they're looking for rare earths, and they're looking to feed the new future AI economy that's going to come. And I think it's too late for any any of these African leaders. I just think the concept of even an African leader is very outdated. If you're not if you're not a country or a region that speaks the same language, and you're not combined into like 150 million plus people, then I think it's checkmate for you. So everyone's just running to get on board and align their pockets. Um, Speaking of AI, there's a Vice News video that came out. It's called "The Rise of AI Warfare in Africa" with Shane Smith. And if you go to it's at 1 minute and 20 seconds. I believe there's some Burkina Faso officers training along with them. The mission is called African Lion in Morocco. And I'm just gonna. I wish. Okay, I'm just gonna turn my camera towards it, and I think we're gonna see some Burkina Faso soldiers right here. So I don't. I mean, like I said, um, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have taken position, and they're gonna sell off the mineral resources, and they're gonna sell it to anyone who has the money and the means for protection. And the United States is leading in that. They're leading in the AI warfare front, other than China. So I just think that video right there, if anyone could confirm were those officers from Burkina Faso. It seems like that's their uniforms. So I just think everyone's selling out. And for us on this panel, I think we need to sell in. I think we need to whatever technology we could offer the continent, we better sell it to them, or else it's all going to be taken. And that's all I want to. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, I saw. Yeah, sorry, sorry, Dan.
Give.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's heartbreaking, you know. It's heartbreaking dealing with Africans, to be honest with you, you know, because it seems like it's the same mistakes, the same cycle just repeats itself, you know. Same cycle just repeating. I just don't know why, you know, African leaders they can't look within themselves and do stuff for themselves, you know. I don't know why they have this complex issue, this Stockholm syndrome, you know, and it's a big problem on the continent, you know, absolute big problem. And unless the political realm is revamped, then I mean, I believe the cycle is just going to be the same thing, you know, the same thing as history has repeated itself. And yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely there is no way that Macron should be let back into Africa. You know, that's just it's unacceptable. You know, that's just like a big stab in the back, you know, to the rest of the Africans, you know, who have worked hard to obviously get rid of imperialism, get rid of colonialism. Then, you know, it's just straight away they've let the guy back into the continent, got established, you know. So it's just disheartening, you know, disheartening dealing with Africans, you know. And sometimes you just think, you know, is there hope? You know what I'm saying? Is there hope? Because the cycle just keeps on repeating. And yeah, it's just absolutely rude. It's rude of Macron to be speaking down on Africans in a way he has been speaking down on them. It's not acceptable, because that wouldn't be accepted anywhere else. Wouldn't it be accepted in Europe? It wouldn't be accepted in America, and it's absolutely disgraceful. It shouldn't be happening. It just shows that we've still got a long way to go, and there's still problems, still deep-rooted problems which need to be fixed and brought to light. Anyway, I rest my case.
All right, guys, hit the like button. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add the conversation, you're more than welcome to click on that link and add to the convo.
Okay, Don, as far as the condescending patterns, you can click on YouTube and Macron in Burkina Faso in 2017, and you will watch a video of Macron addressing our students in Burkina Faso while our president was in the room. Just watch how he addressed them. He embarrassed them in front of the student, embarrassed them in front of the country. We watched that. We were mad. We were disappointed, but what can you do? When you elect a popular leader, that's what you get. So since 2017, we've been knowing Macron. For us, it's 2017. So, so when we use these these experiences that we're trying to share with Africans, then we become the boogie, like the bad guys, right? We hate other country because Macron is bringing development, is bringing investment to their countries. Therefore, we hate on them because they are more developed than us. That's what we get on YouTube, on the YouTube street and other places. It's that. And I'm telling you, if Macron, France, leave the Sahel alone, you will see Sahelian we wouldn't even speak about France. We don't even want to speak on them. We want the divorce to be completed all the way 100%. If that's the wish, they're the one holding on to it. You can listen to Chiani, the president of Niger. They were trying to fuss about the uranium that was produced while they were still there. Based on the latest video that was put out, Chiani told them, okay, I do agree we produced the uranium when you were there. You had 70% of the shares. So technically that still goes back to you. So if you want to come grab that, we will let you have it. Or if you give us an address or whatever, we can send it to you. And we keep our 30%. Guess who's dragging their feet? France. And he's going to Kenya telling Kenyans that we told them to leave and they left. Of course they have not left. They have not. They're waiting for any opportunity to come through the window. That's their tactics. And they're using other African countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Benin to do it. So let's go. We're going to be vocal about it. I know some people's feelings going to get hurt, but we're going to have to talk. That's their ways. So when Chiani is telling you that he doesn't trust Benin and somehow Nigeria is in the mix as well, you got to have to agree with Chiani because they know what they're talking about. He predicted what was going to happen to Mali and it happened. These people also have a certain kind of information that we cannot neglect. We have to listen to them. When Traore told you that, this thing was going to happen, it did. What Kamara got, they were trying to do that to Traore. That's what this guy was cooking in Togo. Our former president, that's what he was trying to do. Get his address, load a vehicle with bombs and blew his whole neighborhood. That's what they were trying to do to him. And he escaped that. Thanks God. So these people are not going to sit on here and think that France is now using them to get back to the Sahel. So you must be crazy not to think that. They are. And they're intentionally acting like Africans don't know about it. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
I agree. And the thing is, Tiani is very close to those people in northern Nigeria. And Lodi is very close to the intelligence of Nigeria. He knows. I mean, he knows what's going on. And there's a lot of people who understand that. And in fact, we all know the reason why Tinubu did not able to do it is because of the people in northern Nigeria. They said, no, we're not going to allow you to bring foreign troops here to invade our own brothers, which is Niger Republic. We're not going to allow that. Otherwise, Tinubu would have done it because he's a sellout. And he started all this. Honestly, when I think about it, he started all this, to be honest. Because if he would have let that coup slide, all this drama wouldn't have happened. I mean, he only came to power. Okay, he had his previous, the guy who put him in power, who died, Buhari. Buhari witnessed a coup in Burkina Faso. He witnessed a coup in Guinea. I saw what's his name, Aliou Cisse, who is the head of ECOWAS. Buhari used to ask him to come in to the Aso Rock, right, like a briefing. He said, "Can you update me about what's going on in the Sahel?" Because Buhari used to be a military officer. He had a coup himself. The guy said, Aliou Toure said, "Look, I'm engaging with them, but it's very difficult. This, da, da, da." Buhari's like, "Okay, no problem. Take time. I understand." Buhari was so diplomatic with the ECOWAS guy, Aliou Cisse, who is still there. Like he's telling him, "I understand. These are young lads. I understand the situation they're going through. It's not easy." And he understands basically why they did it. And and Traore and this guy in the Sahel, they're very famous. It was very popular in the northern Nigeria internet space because I saw a lot of the Hausa Fulani. They love Traore. They're always talking about him in their own language and stuff like that because they like it. That's their sort of culture because they like this. We like this farmer ideology in West Africa. Buhari did not say, "Oh, let me go to." Buhari was very close to Trump. He did not say, "Oh, let me ask Trump to go and invade these guys or do stuff like that." He didn't. Why Tinubu think? Who does that man think he is? When his brothers are fighting for liberation, he can still feel the sentiment of the entire Francophone. This is not just Niger Republic or Burkina Faso or Mali. This is the entire Francophone. It was their own Arab Spring. They told this, we had this opportunity now for us to liberate ourselves from these people. Why did he think he can go against them? I don't know. What hold did the French and the American got over Tinubu, where he feel like he has to listen to them? I don't know. It's very strange. It's a very strange one. At the moment as we speak, the the Americans have they have military troops in Nigeria. They have them. They've been moving. The last time if I'm not mistaken, allegedly, they was in Kebbi State, and that's not far from the Niger Republic. And since they came into Nigeria, insecurity never ended. In fact, sometimes it got worse. The reality is we need to find a way. We need to find a way. We need to find a way around this.
How do we find a way? You got someone like Lewis still bringing the past. We are dealing with the present and we're trying to move to the future. And he's here bringing the past. How are you going to do it? Because because of the direction that some of these countries have taken, right? Some Africans are very embarrassed by this. So therefore they have to go back to the past, right? So to bring back this illusion that these countries were at fault. We are not at fault. If your country is attacked, you have to have a sovereignty first. If you can't have sovereignty, you can't have elections. And then all these people who want to press us to have elections know exactly what they want. The French know. They have like 10 candidates lined up, all sell out, waiting for the opportunity to come so they can become president and take our country back to the status quo. We know it. That's why
someone just correct me. You're right. Okay, I'm not from Nigeria, but in Bauchi. Okay, so that's Okimut. Yeah, it's exactly. So because I saw it, that's why I said allegedly. I saw it. They in Bauchi, and now if you look at the border of Bauchi, I don't know Nigeria that well, but I can guarantee that's not far from the area where you call the Sahel. What are they doing there? And if you look, if we, because the last time I was researching why the Americans went to that area, and I was looking at the amount of insecurity that area have compared to, for example, the middle belt of Nigeria or the northeast where Boko Haram is, you can't compare them. So why are they there? Why are they not engaged in fighting Boko Haram or in the middle belt if they came to Nigeria to help fight insecurity? Or why aren't they in Zamfara states? So I'm telling you, bro, that guy in Nigeria is all over this shit, bro. He's all over this shit. And that's the reason why we in West Africa, we don't like some southern Nigerians ruling Nigeria. We prefer the northerners ruling Nigeria. Because they created ECOWAS for a reason. Anytime they rule Nigeria, they look after the Sahel because they know the Sahel is very important for the entire West Africa. But those sellout people in the south, anytime they come to power, they get used. Yeah? They get used. They get used by the West. Why? Why do you like to sell your own brothers out all the time? Why? Is it because you're in the coast, you got colonized by them, and they give you some crumbs so you could be their housekeepers?
Actually,
Don't forget these brothers.
Africa, just to let you know, Tinubu was elected by way of the North. Do you know that? It was the North that
the Northerners put him there.
Yeah,
the Northerners put him. You cannot.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't represent for the South, does he? Really, what I've looked, the research that I've done, he doesn't really represent for the North, for the South. Sorry, he doesn't represent.
He represents the Southwest. He's representing his own people.
He doesn't.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go into tribalism, but he only represents his own people.
That's not true. That's not true. Tinubu is more, I would say,
he's more northern Muslim.
Well, he's more northern than south by far.
No, but what I'm trying to say is,
he's got that northern link.
Okay, I understand that because let me explain to you. He got put in there by the Northerners. Okay, the Northerners voted him in, and basically a lot of people say he did not even win the election, but remember the people in the North control most of the architecture, okay? And, because the North and the Southwest, they do have this kind of link when it comes to leadership in Nigeria. And they trust working with the Southwest more than the Southeast because of the Civil War. However, the people that he puts in certain places, since he's been in power, is mainly his people because he don't feel confident, having a lot of the Northerners surround certain sectors because he's not a comfortable guy as a president. You can tell. But however, he's seeking outside support a lot also because he's feeling paranoid, like the North is going to take him out because he had attempted failed coup. The reality is, yes, he does. He does have a northern. Is culturally more in the north. That's true because he's a Muslim Yoruba. The Yoruba Muslims are very inclined with the Northerners, especially with the Fulanis, because they they have some kind of relationship. That's a fact because of religion, and they have some level of trust. But the reality is, you can say what you like about the Northerners, but the Northerners, or you can say the Fulanis are sellout, or the Hausa, or the Kanuris, and this and that. But the last time I checked, it was the Northerners, who created ECOWAS. It was the Northerners who were providing military support to the Niger Republic. Buhari, when he was in power, he used to give the Niger Republic military equipment to help them fight the jihadists. That's why Niger was the safest country among the three in the AES. And Nigerians were cursing him and said, Buhari is not even Nigerian, he's from Niger Republic, he's spending Nigerian taxpayers' money, giving it to Niger. All the propaganda that they make up, yeah? And then obviously my man is like, okay, fine. I know for a fact if your neighbor is not comfortable, that's going to come into you. So that's what he's been doing because he was Yusufu who was in power.
But we got to deal with what's going on now in northern Nigeria.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
I mean,
true. Yeah, that's got to be dealt with. But
we got
he's
what's going on now in northern Nigeria and in the Sahel. I mean,
yeah, but
great.
it's Diners. The Northern Nigerian problem is got to be dealt with. 100%, no doubt, no sympathy. What's going on in the Sahel need to be dealt with, no sympathy. But how can they deal with this when these people are complicit in it? How can they do it? That's a question. Silence. All right.
Actually, that's a leadership problem. That's a leadership problem, and that proves
Thank you.
that once again that
Mhm.
when you look at the AES leaders, actually, whether it's Traore, Assimi, Goita, or Otiani, actually, that when you want something, you can do something, but it's a choice in terms of leadership. So, are you going to be like complicit of neocolonization? Because actually, it's just imperialism, and what is interesting is that the AES has to deal with not only France, because actually France has assisted with NATO and the EU countries and so on, and Ukraine and so on and so forth, but also Eastern countries, actually, because a lot of the jihadists that are coming and attacking, whether it's Mali, Burkina Faso, or Niger, actually, when you look at Mali, for example, you see that there's a lot of black Muslims from Mauritania, and actually in
Muslim
Mauritania,
from Mauritania, Sudan, the Nilotic looking people, Tuareg, Bambara, Kula, Songhai, all of them they mix in there.
across the board, even if you have
Across the board.
even if you have a dominance among Fulani and Tuaregs somehow, but and actually when you see the decision making, you see they decide to defend, they decide to get rid of France, they decide to actually cut ties, and if France make a move like, you can't fly towards France or whatever, they respond. Whether it's France, whether the United States, no joke. So if you look at Tinubu and others, leaders around West Africa, they don't have the same type of leadership, and actually that's also explains why democracy for the time being is not going to save Africa, because it's corrupted to the core. Whether we talk about go ahead.
No, I mean, you're making some points. Sometimes democracy, have held us back. We need to find what system works for us. That's what we need to do. But we did have a system in West Africa, which is two systems we had before the white man, which is Mansa and Farmer. I narrated that long time ago, so many times on here. We know what we do. This what we're going through in the Sahel is nothing new. But the only thing that's new about this is the people who are involved in it this time. Is what new about it. We always have managed to put this back to the lead.
Guys, let me pass the mic. We got people waiting. Go ahead, Kunta.
No problem. Okay.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing, bro?
Good.
Yeah, how you enjoying your trip in Senegal? You good?
It's going great. It's beautiful. All is well.
Yeah, that's nice. Good to see you having a great time. Greetings to everybody else on the panel. Let me start by addressing the fact that the reason why there's this uncanny bromance between Tinubu and Macron is not just, some people might see it as a new colonial ploy, or the fact that Tinubu is just a puppet or a ass. This doesn't negate any of that. But you got to understand that Macron's footprint in Nigeria is deeper than him just being the voice or being the spokesperson for France. In 2001, when Macron was still like in his early 20s, in his youth, he actually interned at the French consulate in Lagos, Nigeria, I think the French embassy. And at that point in time, Tinubu was the governor of that very same Lagos state. And that was where like the first built a relationship and then familiarized with each other. And as you know, fortune will have it, 2 decades down the line, both of them became the respective presidents of their countries. So it is not out of the ordinary to imagine that they continued from that initial relationship they cultivated back in Lagos, Nigeria in the early 2000s up until now. So that's why it is not out of the ordinary that any slight headache or any little trip Tinubu wants to make, he goes straight to France because the relationship already exists. And that in itself plays directly into whatever geopolitical chess game that the French are playing, especially with the Sahel. With that said, let's not let's not mix up our misinformation. As far as Tinubu is concerned, and as a Nigerian that I am, I'm not really a fan of Tinubu whatsoever, but I would say that part of the reason why things has escalated to uncontrollable levels in the Sahel was because he refused to act. Let's not distort the information here. Tinubu did not even plan to invade the Sahel after the coup that happened in Niger. As a matter of fact, it was the Nigerian Senate themselves that gave that express order and stopped him from sending troops over there. And that was a very
That's
grave
exactly
mistake.
what I said.
No, you were making it look like he opposed or like he is trying to
No, I
antagonize
said the
or
Northerners refused. The Northerners refused
it wasn't the
him.
Northerners that refused. It wasn't the
Well, it's the
Northerners.
Senate. The Senate. The Northern
It was
governors,
the
right? The
Nigerian
people.
Senate. It was the Nigerian
Yeah.
Senate. The Senate consists of every single representative across the
But
country,
majority
including the
from the north.
Southerners. The head of the Senate is actually from the South. The head of the Senate was actually from the South. So they prohibited him
That
expressly.
doesn't matter. It depends on the numbers of people who voted. It's not who had the Senate. It depends on the amount
It's
of
about.
people who
I'm just
voted, right?
telling you that. I'm
Is that
just
how it
telling you that.
works? Okay.
Listen, Africa. I'm just telling you that at the end of the day, it was the Senate that actually barred him, and it was a very grave mistake. That's the reason why when something similar happened in Benin Republic, we wasted no time. The coup attempt that happened to Patrice Talon in Benin Republic, we didn't even have to deliberate or dilly-dally about it. We invaded straight away and we stopped the coup plot. Why? Because we can't afford a situation where both our northern and western neighbors are currently being ruled by juntas. That in itself will affect the kind of relationship and geopolitical games that we are playing with our neighbors, because Cameroon is already dealing with its own stuff. Chad is already gone. Niger is dealing with its own stuff as well, and then Benin Republic. So Nigeria is completely surrounded by countries that are actively dealing with destabilization. We can't allow that to happen. That's why I didn't make that same mistake. And for all intents and purposes, I must also make it known that even when Niger was going through a fuel scarcity situation and all, they came to Nigeria literally begging, and we still sold petroleum. We still sold to them at a discount. We didn't because you are currently being ruled by a military junta, we are not going to trade with you. Tinubu, for all Tinubu hasn't made any efforts. You were right when you said Buhari was still trying to be diplomatic, trying to play the ethnic games, trying to play the religion game, trying to pacify and see how they could remedy the situation. But Tinubu doesn't give a shit. Excuse my language. Tinubu doesn't care about the Sahel at all. He only cares about his relationship with France and maintaining their relationship.
Thank you.
So the topic at hand, and this is where I land. As far as Ruto is concerned, we need to understand that Kenyans are like some of the most bipolar people I've ever met. No disrespect to the Kenyans of the world, because on one hand, these people have such a revolutionary history when it comes to opposing white supremacy and colonization. We talk about the Mama uprising, or even something as recently as the back-to-back Gen Z protest, the Ruto must go protest. But in the same vein, I don't know if it's the same group of Kenyans, but these are the same people who held a memorial service for Charlie Kirk when he passed away. And these are the same people who are rolling out the drums and the red carpet for Macron and trying to treat him like a demigod. So it's very, very befuddling when you consider it. And let's not forget that Ruto himself, for all intents and purposes, is nothing but a Western puppet. So I don't know why we are being surprised. And I don't think the Sahel, the leaders of the juntas in the Sahel, I don't think they care any bit about Ruto.
Why you keep calling them junta? They don't have names for you?
Okay, sorry.
The farmer. Say farmer. The farmer. They're not juntas. Okay. I think your mic, brother. Kunta, can you hear? Your mic.
I think it's gone.
Yeah, let me pass the mic to let's see here, Kunta, Kiddo. Go ahead, Kiddola.
Okay,
Unmute yourself.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dennis. I've been listening to everybody, and you see, uh, uh, France is not friend to nobody. Not because it was in Nigeria, French embassy in Nigeria. The French have been playing this game for a very long time. They be kind of like having soft power in Nigeria, even before this Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger problem. You know, France have been looking for a way to destabilize Nigeria, and come the right time with Boko Haram. Boko Haram actually will never really be formed as an aggressive group. It was Obasanjo who actually made them become very aggressive. You know, Boko Haram was like, the guy that was into Boko Haram was called Yusuf. He was really against corruption, and his focus was against these northern governors. He thought that when they were building their houses with gated fence and everything, while their people are suffering. Those people, they say northern people, some of those leaders there, some of those governors, the one that, because Yusuf could gather thousands of crowd, you know, and Basajo, you know, take him out for nothing, just bring him out. Those stupid policemen, they just waste him up. That's come about the aggressive ones. From there, the enemies of Nigeria see an opportunity, which is France is heavily involved. Because even if it destabilizes Nigeria, Nigeria have no more focus to let's settle this, let's settle that with other countries. You know, and Nigeria actually will never really be built to interfere really to neighboring countries. You know, Niger, Chad is a family member of northern Nigerians. You can never take that away from them. Some of them have relatives, great-grandfathers that came from these territories. You know, they do business together. You know, people, you know, that place actually, it was Obama who actually created this problem. Because if Obama did take off Gaddafi, Mali would not have been where Mali is today. You know, the Burkina Faso would not have been where Burkina Faso is today. You know, and Niger. It was, you know, the one that called the Son of Africa. You know, I never really see that guy as Son of Africa, actually, because he don't really visit his family. He used them as, you see, this is what I see a lot in American society. They will come and say, man, I will be with you, I love you, I will save you, you're my family. They will then use you, they will dump you. You know, that's what Obama did to that family in Kenya. He came, he sang the music. What did he do? He ran to Ghana. As Ghana have never helped nobody. Ghana have never fought up to contribute Ghana have even contribute no soldier to fight these terrorists in Nigeria. It was Niger, Mali, some part of Cameroonians, and other ones, Guinea.
But I mean,
you know, when they formed that ECOWAS to fight, when they formed that group to fight these terrorists, Ghana did contribute no single troop. No single troop there. You know, because this is the way they operate, silently pretending and say you out. You know, so what I say here is you don't do this. I don't believe in democracy. I enjoy military rule in Nigeria like something else. When those military leaders were ruling, from Molita Mohammed, Obasanjo came in once, then after that, the Buhari, I tell those things. We don't really want to travel at that time. Our currency was stable. We get job in magazine. Our life was, everything was in Nigeria.
Right.
You know, but with
Kidela,
this
I don't mean to cut you off. Since you were under a military leadership, right? Because some people are trying to confuse others. Although they had their weakness, didn't you feel proud under the leadership? Didn't you make you proud as a Nigerian?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying he was proud to be Nigerian.
I like military regime. With military regime, we will be fed in school, right? We will be fed in school. We will be given all kind of things. You know, our parents were receiving salary monthly. We were having my father. People supply. My father put a supply of bread and everything. We were rich. You know, we were rich.
That does make you
You
an
know, I was living the
international
life.
target, though.
But when anytime these civilians came to power, because they are as corrupt as hell, they're ready to Britain to bank this money. You know, we don't have insecurity. You can, when it's hot in Nigeria, you can sleep by the corridor of by the front of your house. We just put a form there by the porch. You sleep there till they break. Thieves only thief goat, chicken. But not by this one, they kidnap people at home, on the street. Things have never actually happened before. And let me tell you one thing, right? It was not the Fulani that came with kidnap. Kidnap came from the Igbos, who went to South America to be doing that nonsense there. That's how they introduced kidnapping into Nigeria. Those useless boys that went there and came back, they start kidnapping their own people, demanding for ransom. It was later part that this thing now become, you know, due to insecurity and all these corrupt leaders, they will give them money. During Jonathan, do you know how much a pastor steal? A pastor in South Africa? You know, democracy in Africa is a scam. It does not actually exist. You know, compared to when Abacha was in power. Do you know when Abacha was in power? You mess up, within 3 days, it will figure you out. We have people, we have secret service that drive old looking cars, but the engine is something else. We'll be surrounded with security, everybody's living well. But what do they give to us now? You know, what do they give to us? We don't know what we are anymore. Nobody's safe. You know, but all these things you're seeing, you know, Fulani, it's not a Fulani. They are indigenous people who are taking advantage of their territory. That Benue problem you're seeing is being done by their own people who want to occupy big lands to mine gold, to mine all kind of things. You know, but they will be behind the whole this atrocity. That they will point to some figures that, you know, it's complicated because of this democracy of thing, my brother. It now become, we now have what we call unseen warlords. You don't see them, but they're all there. You know, the thing that the Northerners even rule Nigeria well. They rule us well, no tax. We're paying less tax, but this will happen. You know, I always say this panel, I'm pro-North. Bring pro-North. Some of these billionaires in Nigeria, the Northerners made a billionaire. This so-called autosubsidy of Igbo land. All these men be made by the Northerners. You know, the South is a disgrace. They pick the money, they run to abroad, to US, to London, to buy mansions there. They forget about their people. That's just the truth. One day we will come back. And when we come back, not everything that goes up will surely come down. You know, one day, it's just one day. We pray. This will come back again. I pity this generation that didn't enjoy Nigeria. Some of these children that are 60 years, 70 years. For my age time, Nigeria was everything.
Kidola, we're gonna speak up, you know, until people understand, you know, the problems in the Sahel. So people are gonna get in their feelings. I understand some Nigerians are gonna get mad, some Ghanaians are gonna get mad, Ivorian and Benin's, but we don't care as we speak right now.
Ghana cannot go mad for nothing. Ghana can never go mad for nothing. Ghana have never contributed no troops to fight in Africa. Let's just be honest. Ghana have never contributed no damn fucking troops. They have no investment in no African country.
Depending on where if they get the right drones, they don't need soldiers. Like that's one of the big misconceptions
forget
about.
This thing, my brother. Forget about Ghana.
I agree.
Ghana is just push them off. In Liberia, they didn't contribute no troops. They just come there and say peacekeeping and send some or do off. They never fight they never fight no war, but they use their mouth to talk nonsense and everything. Let's just be honest. This way we have some people are talking very big with microphone, but they don't have soldiers to put on the ground. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Ola. You know, the truth always lasts, you know. That's the only thing that sets you free. May God bless you, Ola.
How do Africans get rid of this democracy stuff? How do we get rid of democracy on the continent?
One second before we answer that, I would just like to say one quick word because Dinah asked a question about Macron, And I think it's important to answer this question. He said, who did put Macron in power? And actually, I came up to answer that question. Actually, it's somebody called Jacques Attali, which was a former, consul and a minister in France from small hat origin, and also the Rothschild, because he used to be a banker, actually, for the Rothschild. So it's important that to understand that there is a relationship between imperialism, capitalism, and colonialism, just like Nkrumah actually alarmed. Actually, he really tried to warn African countries of the danger ahead, and basically Africa shouldn't be as it is if the proposition of Nkrumah and other Pan-Africans were pretty much followed, because actually the head of the African Union was not supposed to be in Ethiopia. I think it was supposed to be in Cameroon or in Congo, like
somewhere
Zaire.
like that.
So,
Yeah.
so we need to understand that some attempt to free Africa, or to break free from the neo-colonial, neo-slavery system was attempted, but for some reason, and we need to study those reasons, it failed, or there have been some counter-revolution, if I may say. So I will just let you keep on those questions. Like, how do we get rid of this democracy stuff?
We need to fish out.
I mean, it's
as St. James
a
said, we need
real
to fish
simple
them out.
answer of why these things got shot down, and most of it was because of the CIA. Like, even now, there's
Right.
huge outside influence, right? Like, I haven't
Right.
heard what is the ISWAP brought up yet, right? Like, you're talking about ISIL trying to have some form of a control or an influence on these regions. And you have U.S. officials that have flat out put out there, right, that there are U.S. agencies that have funded Boko Haram. So when you kind of follow the money, right, then you can make the connections between who is who. And the reality is everybody's from outside.
Right.
But it seems like when the conversation is had, it's focused on the internal conflict. Because you're not gonna, I feel like some of the African leaders do get a bad rap only because you're not gonna decide whether America is in your country or not. Only thing you're gonna decide is how you're gonna deal with them, right? Because if they don't have some presence outright, the CIA is the military arm of our government. And yeah, they're gonna be out there, so that I think becomes more the issue. That gets to the root of how these alliances become what they are. And it's more of outside influence now than even genuine internal conflict.
Right. It's some type of way, that's you're not far away from the truth, but what do you do to defend, to protect your people as a leader? That should be your number one responsibility, right?
And see,
And
that's where I
yeah.
agree with the brother when he said he's not against a military dictatorship. Understand, I've always been
No, I
taught
know
that that's just wrong.
Ola is speaking facts, yeah.
But now, hear what I'm saying. I've always been taught that's just wrong, right? But everything isn't for every region. And the honest truth is, to the attempts that have been made in the past, many of those were made by what would be considered a dictator. And some of those things have progress. But the thing is, once you do that, you're a target internationally. You know what I mean? Now, forget the people in, what is it, Anamawa or whatever. Forget all of them. Now you're an international target for Belgium, US, Luxembourg.
Right.
So
No, that's
just
true.
never forget where the enemy is. That's
Right now,
always the biggest
sir,
enemy.
the biggest
What's that?
before you embark on that journey as an African leader, you have to make sure you have the you have your people behind you. I know it's a difficult task to face the West or face whoever, who is more armed, who is more powerful, who has more money, has more friends, more connection than you, like a small country in Africa. It's going to be difficult, and we understand the task. But to do that, you're going to have your people behind you. If you have your people behind you, then you can have your region behind you. Africans have forgotten about that. They weakened their own region by themselves, and everybody went out there and got their own deal. So now everybody is sitting on top of their roof laughing at their own brothers. I'm on top, forgetting that, somebody built the foundation for you, and they can come remove you from the top of your building. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk like that, we know it's going to be difficult, and Africans are not ready. The Sahel, look at what we're going through. Macron is very calculated. He knows something has got to happen in Mali before his trip gets before his trip to Kenya can make sense. You see, he uses Mali. When he got there, what did he say? He said, you know what? When Mali kicked us out, look at what is happening in Mali. And then people get confused. So he knew what was going to happen to Mali. He's coordinated. You see what I'm saying? So people don't get that. But when the Sahel is telling you, these people are they're in here for the resources only. They're not here for your democracy. They don't give a damn. You got election in your country, you put out a leader, you laugh. They don't give a damn. You can elect a goat, an elephant, a dinosaur. They don't care. As long as they can come in there and pull them resources, that's what it is. So all these African countries talking about election, they don't even know what that means. They don't even know what that means. We can do democracy, yes, but it has to be based on our own vision. If it's not based on your own vision, then you're going to have nothing. This is how you get Tinubu, like what my brother was saying. Tinubu doesn't care. Tinubu knows if the white people, all these people that made him powerful, leave him, he's not going to be president of Nigeria. He knows that. So that's why he has to take his raggedy behind at 74 years old, go listen to a 47-year-old kid who has a like a half woman, half man walking with him. We don't know. Why are you doing this? And you allow him to disrespect.
Now here's the only thing though. That's one of the very few benefits, right, of democracy. Like one of the main ones is someone doesn't necessarily get to just stay there forever, right? And that's what kind of comes along with a military rulership, which I don't necessarily disagree with. I'm just saying these are some of the problems and complexities of it. So I agree, some new form of governing that actually caters to the people there and they can balance out the conflicts and the benefits does need to be created and can be created, but the hard part is always going to be that outside influence.
Okay, they're not going to create that. As long as the French. So everybody know. I know Darness is. I know a lot of people are not surprised that French is that powerful, right? But Tunaja was trying to go a different route yesterday. That's why we didn't agree with him. Like I go back to when they were disrespecting Francophone Africa. That France is a little country, and they don't understand why we kept the French with us. We didn't want to split with them. You understand? And we made it clear to them exactly what France was about. Now you can see a big country like Nigeria can't even do it without French. Countries like Ghana, they can't do it without the French. Look at them. So we were proven to be right. We were proven to be right all along, but they refused to listen. They did refuse to listen. Now you see the mess they're in. The economy relied on Nigeria, France. We're talking about the Sahel. I come from Burkina Faso. We've been taking our resources from the French for a very long. This started before even Traore came to power. They couldn't even get into our gold mine. They couldn't get in. No French company is operating in Burkina Faso. Zero. We were trying to do that. When Traore took power, he made clear that anybody that comes to the country has to do business the right way. These people don't want to do business the right way. That's why we have a problem with it. They don't. They never will. And when we say that, people get mad. I want to live in my country where I control everything. How about that? What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
What is wrong with that? Why do you want to come in people's place and control their resources and control everything? Why should we allow that?
there becomes the economic issue, right? Because they're still using like currency tied to the franc, right?
Up
So
to now, this. Do you know the first one of the first European, one of the first outside African, leader that actually spoken about this was the Meloni, the Italian prime minister, the woman. He said Macron was actually calling her racist, xenophobic, far right. I think if you want, I'll send you the link. I'll find it somewhere on the internet. She said to Macron, "How dare you? You've been exploiting Niger Republic uranium and powering and lighting up Europe for centuries. These people can't even afford to survive, and kids are dying mining uranium and stuff like that. And these people are running from their country to come to my country, and you're calling me a racist? Are you actually
That's
kidding me?"
Hey,
can I
say something?
that will tell you.
Yeah.
That will tell you that this France going to kiss brutal chick. These French people, they are very trickish. They poison.
Elijah, it's next you next. Yeah, it's you next,
sorry.
Elijah. Yeah, go on. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay,
Make the point.
they poison the Niger children with uranium. Those dust, the mad, right?
They did that. Exactly.
Tribes are saying there are some tribes in those territories that you poison with uranium there. So France is always
the
playing this
brother in
kind
the
of
back trying to say something.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry.
Okay, this is the thing. I mean, the problem is, even if you don't see France in Burkina Faso, the companies that are there, French, these people hide their companies. They will go to Canada
Tied to the
and
franc.
register as a Canadian. They will do that. These Europeans,
They were paying taxes to French while operating.
My friend, let me finish. When you talking,
Oh no, go ahead, bro. We can't even hear you though.
Yeah, you're crackling, Elijah.
Your mic is kind of bad.
Yeah, your mic is bad. I just
But I agree with where he was going.
It's much better.
That was
it's
my
better.
point.
Can you hear me now?
Even now, the currency
Yes,
still
it's
being
better.
tied to the franc. That's
Okay,
problematic
all right.
on economics.
Okay, this is the thing.
You better.
Let me, hold on. So in Africa, even if you don't see French company in francophone countries, you will see Canadians. They register under those people. Australians, they make a deal to hide their, dirty work. Europeans, no matter what, they're all the same when it comes to Africa. That's what we need to understand. And then we Africans, hold on, Africans, for example, Nigeria don't have a foreign policy. Nigeria comes, it's an individual society. South Africa, I mean, I criticize them, but South Africa has a policy. You see, South Africa, even little problem they have with France, their president didn't go there. If that was in Nigeria, they don't care. They will go. Look, I mean, even in Nigeria is an individual country. Nobody cares about the Nigerian state. They don't. The ruling class, individual citizens, they don't care. That's why Nigeria never had a foreign policy. Nigeria don't even have a foreign policy over West Africa. If you are regional power, you're supposed to have a policy for your region. But they allow anybody to come there, screw anybody. They don't have any moral ground to be feel like, hey, I'm from this region. Let me finish, man. So, okay, this is the problem. And then even in West Africa, me, you, and other people, other West Africans, we are individual. We embrace individual success. We don't have a collective. East Africa, Kenya, even they do protests, but those protests are funded by NGOs, outsiders. You see this conference, France has a military base there. You don't see no Kenyan protesting. Right? We all know that. But any program you see them protesting in Africa, any protest in Africa, I look at it, who's funding it. It's very difficult to organize Africa. Even like I was a member of SUP. The SUP, the main base is in Ghana. I started promoting on social media for free. I'm not a Ghanaian, but you can't get Africans on TikTok to join. No, let's say for example, I was telling even the people on the ground in Ghana, I told them, hey, look, let's put a woman in the front, a beautiful woman. African men will come, they'll donate. Or the only thing Africans you can organize them, you put a white man face. We all can criticize the DCYT, but our mind is connected with them. We can't organize anything, nothing. SUP is in pretty much over 40 countries in Africa. But anybody I talk to on TikTok, oh, I never hear SUP. I bet they hear it, but they just jump on it. They don't, because they don't want to contribute nothing. So they want other people to build. They go there and dance there. That's the Africa. Even like the reason why Macron can go to Africa, all these leaders will fly there. But if you tell them, let's go have a African Union conference, right? Even African Union summit, only few leaders jump there because they feel like, oh, I'm not gonna get no money there. But if it's France, Japan calling them, they all show up because they think, oh, maybe I'm gonna get something in my pocket. It's the same way the individual Africans. I don't blame African leaders for all these problems. We, the citizens, are the problem. If we have a bigger organization, pressure group in every state, most of the things that are happening is not going to happen. We can hold a big pressure process. That will be a pressure group. And that's what we need. But you can't. So people who are talking, they're just talking for the entertainment. And that's how I see Africans. Africans are entertainment. It's just like you see, like a French government, Macron insulted them in Kenya. When the black man was talking to them, they all making noise. When the white man comes, they all, it's the same game. Even on TikTok, go to African platform, you see them, how they talk on the platform. They talk over each other. Everybody thinks it's expert. Nobody want to listen to nothing. They don't join nothing. So what do you think, who's going to come and change Africa for you? Nobody. And I believe if one of these Sahel states fail, Africa will be colonized. The border will be blown. If you big state, Nigeria, they'll break up Nigeria. Nigeria will be more violent. Nigeria, the little development you have is going to disappear. The influence, Nigeria is supposed to have more influence in West Africa, but they don't. They don't have influence.
That's true.
Look, my brother, Nigeria, let me just tell you this truth about Nigeria were actually never really, you see, French, before all these things, French was even using Cameroon against us. So let me just tell you the truth. Abacha, the Babangida, and all those guys in Diagbon and even Shagari time, the French were using Cameroon against us. At the time, Cameroon was even, they kill our soldiers even, that would make purpose to send mobile police because we just thought they're not big enough to send the military at that time. But Nigeria never really built. The outsiders, the people that rule Nigeria, they never really built Nigeria foreign policy to go or start dominating other countries or something like that. They were more interested in forming a union so that they can have what called, development. You understand me? That will even happen to why Nigerian military and Sierra Leone military, they were very, very close. You know what I mean? They were exchanging transport, helicopters, and and other things. If you have to check like country like Burkina Faso was far more pro, even Pan-Africa, at that time. Sakara once accused about Sakara, even that Liberia problem. Sakara wanted Nigeria to intervene in time. Ask Babangida, if your hands are not in this thing, why don't you punch this Liberia problem in time? You understand me? And Babangida said, no, I don't know how to go there. So for them, don't say I came to invade. Sakara was really, pissed off that Nigeria couldn't do nothing. As he left Nigeria, that's when Kapara just take him out. Sakara was pushing a lot. So is this like up to today, bro? A lot of Nigerians are doing business in Burkina Faso. So you see this destabilization that Obama brought. They were running cars from Nigeria to Burkina Faso to sell goods and stay there. Burkina Faso never chased the Nigerians out. You understand me?
No, that will never happen, Kidola. That will never happen.
They was really close.
So
what I'm telling you right now, bro, I saw a guy from Burkina Faso, and that guy was a very nice guy. we sit, we talk,
Yeah.
and nothing we
Yeah.
nothing we explain together. Even when it's married to a French white woman, and it actually bring my eyes open a lot about Burkina Faso. You understand me?
Right.
I say, as how do you know Nigeria the first time? He said, yeah, they come to Burkina Faso to do business. They will wear jeans, they will wear baseball cap, you know, they wear sneakers, you know. They will come, they will just drive with Peugeot and come to that place. So what I'm trying to
Peugeot,
say
yes.
is,
Ola, sorry to cut you off. Most of the Peugeot that we have in West Africa, they used to assemble them in Nigeria. You know, that's
you
most of
know,
the Peugeot. Yes.
my
You know,
brother,
I
we were
remember
having
that.
peace. We were having peace in West Africa. Nigerians were in Gambia. Nigerians were in Sierra
Sierra
Leone.
Leone.
A lot. You know, until this guy came and, you know, dissolve everything and spoil everything. Yeah, today's no way military coup will be happening in West Africa. But they will always come together. They will always come
I
together.
hear. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Ola. Also, I hear the French was
talk about
behind the Biafra. Yeah, also I hear the French were behind the Biafra war because this is one that
they were the one. They were the ones supplying the weapons.
See,
that's why when Mulita Mohammed came. That's why when Mulita Mohammed came to power, he cut that ties up. You understand me? That is Mulita Mohammed that really formed ECOWAS, saying no, we have to form to be together. And you have to understand, there's a connection all the way, even all the way from Nigeria to Burkina Faso.
To
A
West
lot of
Africa. I
connections
said
are
that
there.
St. James yesterday.
If you have West Africa, my brother. My brother, if you come to Nigeria International Airport, you will see things. Where you from? Sudan. Where you from? Mali. Where you from? The agbada we wear in Nigeria most of the time are being sold by the Senegalese and these Malians and the Niger.
Most of the cotton that you see they wear in Nigeria used to come from Burkina Faso.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, so there's a very deep connection.
There used to be a lot of trade going on between the region. You know, it used to be
you talk to a Nigerian, in Burkina Faso, he would not even understand why we are bringing French to do anything. Nigeria's mind in the other continents like, let's take over, let's do it ourselves. That's why I'm confused when this thing happened and I'm seeing certain people act a certain way. Nigerians are straightforward, cut to the BS and let's get to it. That's the mindset that I like, and I need that. We really need to get back to that for the region.
My brother, if you come to Nigeria, Sakara, most of us have pictures with Thomas Sakara in our houses. If you come to Nigeria, we have Sakara pictures and everything. Because the guy was very straight, the guy was good looking, tough. They came to. Do you know he rejected Babangida Mercedes Benz?
Oh yeah,
that Mercedes Benz. That he rejected it when Nigeria said Mercedes Benz to all of them. He rejected it.
Nah, he went and got a small vehicle for his ministry, and people were like,
Kidola,
"You were mad, bro."
I watched a lot of documentary about the guy. You're right. Haters gonna hate. I watched documentary about him when he went to Nigeria. And few stuff about him. You are 100% spot on.
He rejected the car gift. He was blaming Babangida for not intervening in the Liberian time.
No one in his government was flying first class. He stopped. We got the people, Kidola. Back then, we had people who love their countries, love their people, and they put the sovereignty first. That's what Africans don't understand. Put that first. Everything else will come easy to you. But people just want to take the shortcuts, to the west.
JJ Rollins to use. JJ Rollins play game also. They use it to flag up. At that time.
Man, can we allow new people to speak, man?
I have to agree with you.
New people to speak?
Democracy,
let him finish quickly. He can come in back.
Democracy is the biggest scam. Democracy is the biggest scam that's been put onto Africans. It never has worked. I've always said that we need to go back to our original ancestral systems that we were using before. Because democracy is just a way for the imperialists to gain access to certain materials and gain control of our systems. It's too much bureaucracy. It's too much bureaucracy. We can't get stuff done on the continent. A simple thing like building a bridge to a next country or building a road to a next country, because of democracy, it can't be, it can't be done because it's too much bureaucracy, and
all right,
we need to get rid of that.
We got some people waiting, so let me pass the mic. Super African, go ahead, and after that's Reverend Green.
Yes, Diners, how you doing? Everybody, how y'all doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Shout out to the AES, man. Shout out to the real AES supporters, man. The real ones from day one, like me. Shout out to, and then everybody else, man. But
we're there.
Yeah, because a lot of people just keep calling France. This is not just about just owning France, man. This is the entire European nations against Africa. Let's be honest with ourselves, man. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's just that France has a bigger pie in the West Africa, because when you speak of the European Union, you have to attach yourself with France, because in the economy, Germany is number one. After Germany is France. So the head of it is France. It's very important. So if you weaken France, you'll weaken the entire European Union. Let's be honest with ourselves now. So, the continent of Africa, you're not just going against France. You're going against the entire Europeans. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, man. People, let's not sleep on the British people now as well. Let's not sleep on them. No. Now, I said this before, right? Macron mentioned Ghana. They have a secure package deal, right? Macron said it, not me. The president of France said it, right? When I was saying be very, very careful with the Ghanaian government, right? And he mentioned Togo. He mentioned Nigeria as well. No, so that means that Macron has a partnership with these countries. To what? To sabotage the AES. I mean, you understand me, right? Macron is a Pan-Africanist. Macron is a Pan-Africanist. St. James, you mentioned a little bit about this, right? Because it looks like the plan for Mali, right? A couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks now, right? It was to unalive Assimi Goïta, right? Bring in a new regime. With that new regime now, they did what they had to do, right? And then a couple weeks later, when you had this African summit, it was celebrated.
Absolutely. That was the plan.
This was the party. This was supposed to be the party. This was supposed to be the, how you celebrate, you got your wife, you know what I'm saying? You got your beautiful wife and all that, celebrating all that. You go to a vacation or whatever, or you got a great job or something. This was supposed to be a great celebration, but they failed. They failed. People forget it now. This is not about France alone. This is about the entire European countries. The entire European countries do not want these countries to succeed because the European nations benefit of African countries. Resource. So please, let's not just forget about the other big cats, especially like the British. Let's not forget about these people now. Let's not forget about these people. So this plan was supposed to be a celebration, but it wasn't. So now all he's doing is just empty talk. A 48-year-old man could talk to African nations like that, like they're little boys and little girls. Look how pitiful it is, man. A 48-year-old man could talk to an 82-year-old man like that. Because you know why? They put them there. This is not about Macron. Macron could leave. The next president of France is going to have the same agenda. It's just like the Catholic Church. When you replace the Pope, the ideology is still the same thing. It's going to be still the same thing. Just like how when you're going to have a new prime minister in England, the ideology is still going to be the same thing. Because you know why? They all came together to separate Russia. They lost that. So now energy in England, in what do you call it? In the European nations, is 10 times more difficult now compared to it was. If they should have never came together to go after Russia, to separate Russia, energy should have never been expensive. Now you look at what happened in Niger as well, when they cut them off uranium. So the France economy is desperate. France used to sell energy to other European nations as well. So these countries are desperate. They are desperate. They will do anything to make sure these three countries does not succeed. How can we wake up as black people to realize the game, what it is? The game is what it is. It's all about energy. It's all about resource. How can I take your resource to benefit my generations? My generation, that's all it is. So how can we stop these people to prosper our people back home to make sure that we're on top of this world where we're supposed to be? Because these people, they're not going to stop. They're going to have people like us. They're going to have all type of, some people to make sure these men and these women do not succeed at all. Because if they do succeed, it's the blueprint. It is the blueprint. I don't care what nobody says. The AES is the blueprint. If the AES collapse, we done for the next 50 years. So if you're somebody that's like in your 40s, you're gonna be in your probably like what 80s or late 70s. You're gonna see that. Oh my God, we had it, but we failed. Somebody betrayed these people. So I do not care. It's not just France. You are dealing with the entire European Union. You are dealing with England as well. Because remember when they came to Ghana, right? When they signed the defense package, what they attach it to? The European Union. Because they knew if they were attaching to France, it would have been more alarm. But then Macron slipped the bill and says, you know what? Slipped the T and said, we signed a defense package with Ghana. He said France, specifically France, with Ghana as well. And then mentioned all those other two countries. Benin, I wasn't even surprised about it. Benin was already there, just like Ivory Coast. But Nigeria, I understand because Nigeria is just corrupt because they allow anybody to just do what they want because that's just how it is. The elites have the property in the West. The elites have the banks in the West. So whenever the West wants something, they're gonna say, okay, well, sorry, sir, just do what you want. But you look at these three countries, right? You look at the ministers, the presidents, the higher people. They don't have properties. They don't have accounts in the West. So the West really can't touch them because at the end of the day, your first love is your home. So if you have big amount of money in Western countries, you have houses there. Your kids go there. You have all type of property. You shop there. You go to the hospital there as well. So when the West come to pressure you, you're gonna surrender. That's what Nigeria did to the AES. And then Tinubu, you already know. But at the end of the day, I don't care who was the president doing at that time, because Nigeria, let's be honest with ourselves, they would have folded. They would have folded. They would have folded. Because when the West wants something, if your elites are attached to the West, they're going to get what they want. But please, let's not forget, this is not just only about France now. This is not only about France, because they do come together to come after us. They do come together to come after us, man. Please, let's not forget it. Man, I know for sure the AES is the blueprint. But this party right here, it didn't happen the way it was supposed to. It didn't. It was like a food that you eat and you had extra too much salt on it. It tastes a little bit good, but just that salt, that salt was just too much in it. Because you know why? I see me going to survive. And we push him out farther. But I don't care what nobody says, man. The AES is the blueprint. Why are people so attached to this word, democracy? Why? Democracy only truly means if you are better your people. If you're not better in your people's life, prosper-wise, when it comes to anything you're supposed to do as a leader, that's not democracy. That's not democracy, man. Let's be honest. These leaders sat there and allowed some 48-year-old man talk to them as they little childs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that, man? But at the end of the day, these men and these women, they are only protecting what gave them power. The West gave them power. That's why they're doing it. Because you know why? If they took power in their own, there's no need for them to sit there and allow some young guy talk to them as if they're child. If I put you there, if I give you power, I'm going to talk to you how I want to because you know I'm the one that help you to get power. I said it before. I remember the Secretary of State over there, Anthony Blinken, went to Abuja and did a presentation and told Nigerians, vote for Tinubu. Tinubu, this is how you're supposed to vote for Tinubu. What do you expect for Tinubu? What do you expect for Tinubu? Tinubu is just closer to William Ruto. Because anything the West wanted, William Ruto gave it to them. Tinubu is very similar. Very similar. The Ghana will be just like, Kenya. I keep saying Ghana will be the version of Kenya in West Africa. Eventually, it's going to be like that. But I got a question, right? Why do black folks in America, right, constantly, majority of them, the country that they attend to, the country that they try to invest with, right, in my opinion, is usually countries that are so close to the West, like Kenya, I mean, look at William Ruto, man. My God, William Ruto. And then you're talking about Ghana as well to a certain extent, right? So you're trying to escape what the white man have done in America, but then you go to a country where the white man dictate almost anything. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. But I'm gonna end it like this, man. I keep saying, 8 years for life. I do not care. All these presidents, they're not about their people. That's not democracy. Because democracy means, are you betting your people life? Do you put your people interest first? That's what democracy is. So people, stop trying to come up here, trying to persuade us about democracy, all that. No. Forget that. Because at the end of the day, you're not about democracy. You're only about your interest, your personal interest, which is what? Get wealthy, have your kids in overseas, and all that. You're not about development at all. All these leaders, the last 20 years, right? They knew Africa needed infrastructures. They knew Africa needed energy.
That's a terror.
No, I never said the N-word.
Yes, you did.
No. Trust me. If I did, I would have come out and said.
You said the N-word. You said the N-word.
Then say that. Trust me.
Yeah,
Ask anybody up here. Ask anybody up here.
You said the N-word. That's a terror.
That's a terror. I don't use that word, man.
That's a terror. You said the N-word.
All right, I gotta go back and play and confirm. I'm shocked if I did, but I gotta go back and play
and confirm.
No, because I don't use that vocab. I'm telling you, I don't use that vocab. Trust me, man. It's been like 6 years. I took like the way I used to talk. I changed it so many times, man. The last 8 years now. I'm telling you, I don't use that word, man. I barely listen to hip hop music. I barely, because there's nothing good that come out of it, in my view. But I'm gonna go back and play. If I did, I'm gonna pay the turf. Trust me, I got you.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, but St. James, man, shout out to the AES, man. They're our savior in West Africa.
Right.
I do not care. It's not just France. It's the entire European countries.
Yeah.
Look what Boy Johnson was like. Oh, what did Boy Johnson did? He forced Zelensky to fight Russia because they wanted to split Russia into 4. Why? Because of energy. They wanted Russian energy the way they wanted to. That's why energy in the European countries are 10 times high, because they lost that battle. That's exactly what it was.
That man he just mentioned right now.
Let me shut up. Go
ahead. That man he mentioned, sorry to interrupt. That man he mentioned, Boris Johnson, he just mentioned right now. He's one of the most dangerous men that ever ruled any country in Europe. Very dangerous guy.
Africa. The thing is this, right? What we got to understand is this, right? It don't matter who's the prime minister or who's the president of these countries. It is the same agenda. How can we suppress Africans to get what we want? That's why I use the word as a like the Catholic organization, right? It don't matter who's the Pope. The ideology is still the same thing. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how can we extract wealth from African countries the cheapest as possible. How can we take raw material as much as possible? That's what this game is all about. So when the average black person can realize this thing and say, okay, well, we have to protect our people, because if we don't, we'll be forever be behind. That's all this about.
Yeah, I mean, we need to build our own market, and the reality is what Cece was saying earlier. Before he went, I was with him because I know exactly how this corporation work. Multinational corporations switch colors all the time. They had to get rid of, and that's exactly what the British did. The British did not stay in their colonies. They just made a deal with these countries, like saying, look, we're not going to control your destiny. You control it, but we're going to control your minds. You can control yourself. Okay.
No. I won't go that far. No. If I pick your president, I'm still controlling your destiny. If I
No, but I'm trying to
if
say,
I subjugate your
listen,
energy, no,
listen.
no, hold on,
I
hold on,
got you,
hold on, hold on, hold on,
I don't want to
hold on.
go,
If I'm
I don't want to go
if
that
I'm
deep, but
if
got you.
if I'm taking your energy, your resources the way I want to, I'm technically subjugating you. I'm technically dictating your destiny.
But what I'm trying to
Come
say,
on
what I'm
now,
trying
no,
is
no,
a
no.
different from it.
Don't try to don't no 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 no. Don't try to put it as if one is like a sweet sugar and then the other one is like a salty
No, but
medicine.
you
Don't
didn't
try to
even
put
let
it
me
like
make
that.
my point.
It's
You're
the
already
same
trying to shut me
agenda.
up.
Let's be honest, man. It is the same agenda, man. It is the same agenda because
But
because in
did I
Africa,
say otherwise? Did I say
right,
otherwise?
you
I
going
just
against
said
corporations.
oh, God.
If you replace Joe Boyson, you put somebody else, right? It is the same. It is the same agenda. It is the continuation. Come on now, don't try to act like if
No, but what I'm
the
trying to
British
say,
people get
bam,
another
bam.
president,
Sometimes you gotta
what
let
do you
me
think
make
from
my
these
point.
people?
Then, but you didn't let me still make
Go
my
ahead.
point.
No,
Then you just
go ahead.
thank you. There is a different style.
Al,
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
mean to cut you off, but I'm just trying to inform you that Macron peoples is here. They're here, man. Macron peoples are here.
Shout out to President Macron of France.
God,
the man in White Castle, man. Make us laugh, man. Make us laugh, man. Oh, the man in the White Castle. Let me say something real quick, right? Man,
So
how about your president? Donald Trump just landed in China, right? Donald Trump just landed in China, right? With he took like billionaires, right? I think Elon Musk, the CEO of Apple, some higher representative of BlackRock, and all these corporation, right? Like I'm talking about corporation that's probably like over something amount of trillion of dollars, right? The man in the White Castle, every single one of these people, half of them were never here when they created the 13 colonies. Half of them are immigrants as well. And then also, every single one of them, 95% of them are white Europeans, except for one Asian man. So where is your people at? Somebody that think like you. Somebody that think like you, they come up here and worship so-called America. The president is technically an anchor baby. You understand me, right? Half of these people, corporation-wise, look it up, look
let
it
him
up.
speak
If you
anyway.
don't believe
But
me,
let him speak
half of
now.
these people are
Let's hear what
technically
he's saying.
immigrant.
Tunaja was
So I'm
here.
trying to hit.
All right.
Yeah.
If I can
I know,
address it.
Cindy.
Tunaja
So
was
would you
Let
like
him
me
let him
here.
speak.
to
Since
what
there's
would you like me
nobody,
to address? That was a
hold on,
loaded
hold on, hold on.
question.
No, let the man
Hold
in the
on there.
White Castle respond, man. White
I
Castle,
will
go
I
ahead,
I
will
thought I
please
was
respond.
everybody. It's not
No,
in the
no,
White
hold
Okay,
on.
it's
Castle.
Look, guys,
man. Sorry.
let Reverend Green talk. Then after that, it's too Niger. Then we gotta close out. Go ahead, Reverend Green.
thank you, Mr. Dynas. Good evening, panel. Rise and shine, proud Americans. This is Reverend Green, the man in the high castle, broadcasting live from May 13th, 2036, where I'm from in my alternate timeline. I hear today it's May 13th, 2026 in your timeline. And yes, it is true that Macron is the first Pan-African to admit that he's a Pan-African from Europe. And this is true. If you could be a white Babalao, which is true, what makes you think you can't become
Say that again, Babylon.
yes, you could be a white
Man.
Babalao.
At
But at
least
the same time,
we're gonna end the show with some comedy vibes.
so if you're doing things for Africa, even from far away, you are a Pan-Africanist. And he's doing all he can.
Is that
Africa does not want to. Africa does not want to do what
French
they
wine
want.
that got you talking like that this morning?
So, thank God for delineation. Delineation has been ordained by the Almighty, the Most High God, Jesus Christ.
I thought it was Macron.
I want to thank and say prayer to all those who are spreading this delineation. Delineation is the way. Delineation is the key. Delineation is holy. Also, President Trump being out there in China, that's only furthers delineation. See, you look at things as black, white, yellow, green. The man in the high castle see things how they are. This furthers delineation. This accelerates it.
Thank you.
And by tomorrow, what you're gonna see for the week of the 18th, you're gonna see DIA, the Dow Jones Industrial. You're gonna see that go to, I'd say 580. It'll be approaching 580 before the end of the month. This is what the type of business President Trump is bringing. NVIDIA's getting on board. NVIDIA's getting on board right now.
And Macron
They'll be
said
here.
that to you?
They'll be here with their new headquarters in 2 years.
Many High Castle. Do you know why NVIDIA CEO travel over there in China? Do you want to really know why? I tell you why.
I can speak on this.
Go look it up. Go look it up. The reason why
I can speak on this.
The reason why NVIDIA CEO traveled to China, right, is because when Joe Biden came, right, he sanctioned I think it was Trump or Joe Biden, but it was one of them that sanctioned NVIDIA not to sell chips to China, right? And then later on, China created their own. So then it backfired because NVIDIA used to make billions of dollars in the China market. So then the company of NVIDIA then crashed because they need access to the Chinese market. So now the CEO is traveling to China to sign a new deal. That's why he's there. That's the reason why he's there, because of the deal, because of when the United States government sanctioned NVIDIA not to sell chips to China, then the Chinese chips makers then create their own. So now NVIDIA could not access their market no more. They lost billions of dollars. That's why he's there. You understand me, right? So he's not there for your people.
NVIDIA is doing fine without
He's not there for your black people.
No, he's there to
He's doing this for full-blood Americans, proud Americans like myself.
He's not there for your black
It's
people.
bigger than what you're looking at.
NVIDIA CEO is a Chinese man.
He's there to delineate,
He's a
man.
Chinese man. He was
let's
never
get.
here. He was never here when they created America in 1776. Get that right.
Delineation has gotten you off your rockers.
Oh my God! Oh my
Man,
God!
my brother, man, we all agree with you, man. We need to delineate, bro.
So when it comes down to delineation,
what happened to the voting right? What happened to the voting right? That's happening in the South right now. What's going on with that? What's going on with that?
I could tell you what's going on with that. Democrats got to tighten their game up. They only know how to lose.
Democrats are not in power. Democrats do not.
Yes, they only know how to lose.
No. Democrats.
But many don't joke about that. Don't joke about that voting right, because that's disgusting. What the Republicans done there? It's absolutely.
What did they do? That's wrong.
Why did they remove? Why did they remove?
What they do? That's wrong, sir.
Removing that voting right.
Where are your Democratic leaders?
No, Africa.
Where are they hiding?
Africa.
And also, where's your boy Keir Starmer?
Do not allow this man to drift.
Hang on.
What's your homegirl, Mayor Karen Bass?
You know how long your ancestors fought for this, for it to just get removed.
My ancestors still fighting. We never fled, sir.
I know you do. I respect that, but I didn't like it. It's just not good. It's not good.
Sir, I don't like the breath that's out there.
Are you gonna sit on here allow him to tell you didn't?
I don't like the fact that Danfall has festivals out there in Netherlands.
You fled the liquor. You fled the liquor, and that's embarrassing.
How come dancehall artists always sell out tickets in Netherlands?
Let's not
How
engage
come
in
they can't sell out festivals in Jamaica?
We love our African American brothers.
Right. No, bro. You gotta take it easy with the liquor, bro.
Yeah.
I know you like Macron, you like the wine, you like everything else Macron is doing. That's fine, but you gotta take it easy before you come to talk to us.
He's a Pan-Africanist.
Just drink a little,
If you can be a European and Baba at the same time, why can't you be a Pan-Africanist and European too?
No, I'm not a Pan-African. Macron is a Pan-African. Can you imagine me being a Pan-African?
He's doing more for Africa.
Come on, man.
He's doing more for Africa than any African has done.
Okay, in your head.
Man in the High Castle is a Pan-Africanist just like Macron. They both equal Pan-Africanists. They're the same. They're the same ideology Pan-Africanists. You guys
I have no desire.
This brother is just trolling, man. He don't mean what
Let me tell you why. Men in the High Castle approves white people going to Africa, stealing African wealth as much as possible, building Western countries. Because men in the high castle sees himself as one of them people. But men in the high castle, when racism hits you, do not say you black. Do not say, oh, because I'm black. Do not do that. Accept it. Accept the reality when they hit you with unfair judgment. That's all I'm saying. So do not. So,
Sir,
if you want these people to look at you the
sir,
same way, I'm saying, I understand, man, in the high castle.
sir,
You and Macron are the same ideology of
sir,
Pan-Africanists.
have you ever heard of
You the
this?
same.
He's just
Have you ever
trolling.
heard
I
of
don't
this,
think
sir?
he mean what he's saying.
Sir, have you ever
No, he
heard of
does.
this?
He
I have a
does.
question, sir. Have you ever heard of world inward law?
No, teach me
This
a
is
little
a
bit.
no, world inward law is a real thing. It's not a
No,
concept.
teach me.
No,
Teach me a little bit.
it's wherever you go. World inward law.
Yeah, but give us
You
some type of
understand?
example.
So
No. That's
some
what I said.
people
Teach us a
have
little
to.
bit.
What are you gonna do about it?
No, but give us some type of good example of what you really mean when you say that.
Bang. Okay, let's let Tunaja speak, man. My bro is done, man.
There's domination and there's
Exactly.
subjugation.
That's what I'm saying. Let's not.
Which
Let's
one
not.
you finna
Mr.
be?
James,
You about to be
there's one thing.
dominant or you
I
about to
gotta give it
be
to him.
inferior?
There's one I gotta give it to him.
We still
Man,
got
I
love
like
for you,
his
though,
name.
brother. Trust me, man.
No. I like his name. Men in the High Castle. I like his name. Yeah,
No, he's a good.
Greetings, sir. God
That's a
bless.
great name.
He's a cool dude. He's a
Hallelujah.
cool dude. He's a
Amen.
cool dude.
No,
For all my
He just
proud
got his own.
Americans, can you press the like button, share, subscribe? If I was ever travel to Africa without my black sister with me, my companion, I would definitely hit up Brother Dinus to get the best tour guides I can and stay safe out there. So hit the like button, share,
we thought
subscribe.
we did that already. Danis is in Senegal. Why you left it? Why you let him go to
To
Senegal?
come with
That's
Diners,
it.
man, and live
Next
some
time.
good life, man.
That's my plug.
Next
That's
time.
my plug.
Men in the High Castle. Next time, right? We want you to travel with Dinus. I think Dinus might be going to Nigeria.
You
or
love it,
days.
man.
I'm not
Honestly,
sure.
you love it.
So yeah,
You love it.
In the next life, when they change my whole perspective.
No, I think you will. I think you enjoy it in Africa,
funny
man.
as hell. He funny as hell, man.
All right.
Yes.
Let me have my own say. I think you guys have had enough. Greetings, everyone, and all those in the chat and the viewers. I think this idea of delineation that people keep talking about seems is some kind of revelation. It's basically trying to say that you want to draw lines, and talking like a tribal or ethnic supremacist. It doesn't get you anywhere in the world today. I must say, race seems to be more important than tribal identities anymore. And regarding the idea that whether democracy is an issue, why is it that we kind of like a representative system of government? You are on a continent that is extremely diverse. So the idea of having a government that is more representative, there's nothing wrong with that ideologically. As a matter of fact, it's a luxury for you to even be worrying about the type of government. Because from the way I look at things, I worry about our existential crisis, not about whether we are practicing any form of government. Because these forms of government never existed barely 2,000 years ago. So the important thing is, how do you survive in this world? Whether it's capitalist, this dictatorial monarchy or democracy, it doesn't matter. It's what path leads you out of the mess you are in is what truly matters most. And I said this yesterday because some people say they understand the theories of survival. You are in the art of war, where it's stated that you have to be like water. You have to flow in the direction that allows you to do what you need to do. What if they put trap for you that if you want to be a dictatorship, they use it to bring you down? You have to have other parts. You can't be that rigid and in ideology when it comes to the kind of situation we are in.
What are you implying? What are you implying? You're speaking in code.
What I'm implying is that whether it's the Sahel AES nations, whether it's other systems of government in Africa, what matters is our people. Our people are the problem. They have to elevate themselves and have higher ambition.
Who's putting the people first, Tunaja, as we speak? No, because you talk in code, they let you speak for hours, but you say, like,
We gotta give us more. Once you speak, give us details and an example. That way we will be able to follow you. You know, you speak in codes.
Yes. Okay, let me make it clearer for you so you can
Sure.
understand.
Sure.
So you have the North Korean system that is highly authoritarian, and you have a more free system like the type you see in Taiwan or this in South Korea. Both sides are supported by different spheres of influence around the world, and yet they are all still functional and developing and advanced, and they don't face existential crisis like we do. Why do you think that is? It's because the people themselves have decided that whatever path they are on, they have to make it work and do it in a big way. Because our own people, when we do something, we always do it small, and always our ambition is just to shake our backside and act as if we have accomplished a lot. What have we accomplished so far? You can see some countries that Russia has aligned with that are not doing so well in Africa.
Who's the we? Who's the we, Tunaja? Who's the we?
Hold on.
You've
Africans.
accomplished a lot. Africa has accomplished so much.
Guys, if Danis is listening, let me ask Danis. If Danis is listening, no, I'm trying to help somebody. There is somebody in the back.
The way the Western
Danis, can you allow Willie? Willie's asking if you can allow him to come to the show. Thank you.
Yeah.
The way the Western world, listen. The way the Western world deal with North Korea and South Korea is totally different to the way they deal with Africa. The way the West deal, the way they deal with Japan. In terms of technology,
let me say something.
in terms of technology transfer, they're more likely to transfer technology to like Asian countries than Africa. Africa is underdeveloped on purpose. It's underdeveloped on purpose.
Wow.
So that
So
democracy.
Come on.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why we're saying democracy in Africa is a scam. It's a scam because you know what I'm saying. The way they engage with us is different. It's
the
different
AES is
from
a
the
scam,
others.
and you know it.
Let me finish.
You change a lot, You change your views, man. You keep flip-flopping. 1 minute you're
Democracy or authoritarian government can always work. All of them, even the one from Saudi Arabia, they are all working. You are missing the point if you are looking at the political system. At the core of it is how you can be able to assert your power. And if you cannot assert power in any way, then forget it. If the AES remains as weak as they are, and terrorists is almost trying to overwhelm them over and over again, then they're going to have a problem before long.
That's why we're saying. That's why we're saying it's a scam because you can't assert the power. That's why we're saying democracy is a scam because the power is not asserted there.
Let Tunaja speak
for us in democracy. There is no power.
You're gonna enjoy Tunaja. We know Tunaja. It's been 10 years. We know him.
Come on, let me finish.
Let him speak.
You've just been waffling, and you guys have just been waffling.
No, I'm not cutting you off. We're letting you speak. Go ahead.
Please support the channel.
No, go ahead.
Where them American flags at in the live chat?
That's right.
Tunaja, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But
where's the
flag? You don't know what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying.
I understand. We understand what you're saying. But the point is,
don't assume you know everything I'm saying. I'm not finished. So when I'm saying we have hold on, let me finish. I warned years ago that there could be another Berlin conference coming up in any very, very soon. The second video I made on my channel was about the opening window. That was years ago, almost 4 or 5 years ago. That we have to clear ourselves out of the mess that we are in. Otherwise, sooner or later, there will be a new form of Berlin conference. Some people are even suggesting that Trump, this visit that is having to France, is making to this in China, he could go and sign it sooner or later. Then China and America could reach an agreement on splitting the world up. And if they do that again, that is a new Berlin conference happening right before your very eyes, and you don't know, your own fate is already decided, and you don't even have a clue. So if that happens, we are in trouble again. And this is why when we talk about
we're gonna be having neocons coming out over here in the United States.
Let him land.
Let me finish what I'm saying. before you start behaving as if you know exactly what we are.
It's true. We have to be careful of China and America getting together. You know,
China
that's true.
I agree.
Because they could do a back door.
That
They
was a
could be
great
doing a
point,
back door.
Tanaja.
You know?
President
That was a
Ping will
great
be
point.
over here in the United States very soon to celebrate
Because
the World Cup. Y'all tripping. Y'all don't even know what's going on.
Bound to happen sooner or later. This is why I keep saying every time we keep losing time, we think it's for nothing. There will be consequences because in time they will reach an agreement sooner or later. This is how superpowers behave. They will have an agreement before you know it. They will go and reach an agreement and they will settle and decide which.
Doesn't Tinubu know that? Doesn't Tinubu know that? Doesn't Tinubu know that? Okay, why is it being? Why is it being? Why is it being? Tunaja, why is it being dragged? Why is it? Everybody's asking you, right? Tunaja, I want to ask. No, let me ask him a question. One question. You came on here, right? Being a little trying to lecture Africans, right? That we are close-minded, right? And you forgot the AES. You take shot at the AES, right? Nigeria. Tunaja, let me tell you something. The level of attack that is going on in the Sahel is less than what is happening in Nigeria. You understand? The killing that are happening in West Africa, there's more in Nigeria than it is in the Sahel. You understand? But you guys somehow, some way, someone like you will come on here and try to depict us as the failure because we just align ourselves with Russia. You guys align yourself with America, you align yourself with the French, you allow yourself with anybody, but you still have defeat after defeat. And we see it. But you know what? We respect your decisions. You got Macron in Kenya telling Africans that his relationship as it relates to security is working in Nigeria. I want you, Niger, to tell me, is that true?
Yes, he has a relationship with him.
Yeah, no. Is he working? Is the relationship as it relates to security with France is working in Nigeria? Is that true?
That's a real fan.
Okay, then. So that's Nigerian that has the problem. That's not us.
What are you
We
talking
never
about?
said.
The same problem thing.
No. Listen.
What are you talking about?
Tunaja, us in the AES, we told you who is the enemy. You guys are yet to tell us who's your enemy. I'm waiting for you guys to tell us. In the region, who's your enemy? Please tell me. No. Don't tell me who's your enemy.
Let me tell you something. Before you start acting as if the AES are taking us to Nirvana.
No. You see, you are evading the conversation. I'm asking a direct question. Who's your enemy?
Change. But all of them, everybody's our enemy, and everybody
is
our ally. This is the problem. Your problem is that you can't.
No. Your direct enemy. Your direct enemy. Who's trying to destabilize Nigeria, Tunaja? Who's trying to destabilize Nigeria? You don't know?
Let me talk. Our people are the problem.
James, don't.
Because you can see that the West work with the Europeans and Americans.
It's not a serious individual.
Can you
see
that
different groups that are trying to destabilize
he's a serious
Nigeria.
individual. You don't take Tunaja serious, man.
Tunaja, talk is cheap. Talk is cheap.
You don't take Tunaja serious.
Talk is cheap.
You don't take him
Hey,
serious.
High Castle,
Let me
can
say
you
this.
hear me?
The truth is that
Yes, sir. I hear you, sir.
US have
You
allies
don't take
that they
Tunaja
support.
serious.
The Chinese have allies that they support. The Russians have
love his
allies that they
master.
support. All of them. They do. As a matter of fact,
Tunaja, who's your enemy? Who's your direct? Who's your direct enemy?
You be an FBA.
Who's your direct enemy?
You guys are so
You give them some liquor.
Now let me take on
Give them some liquor right now. I bet you they don't have no firearms around them. They still scrapping her.
Now give me Russian allies. Hold on. Let's compare notes now. Let's compare notes. Give me a list of Russian allies. Shut up for a second so that you can answer a direct question. Give me a list of Russian allies. Come on. Let's talk. Let's get the numbers out now. Let's get the number now.
These
Okay,
two
hold
are
on.
If you can't
arguing. I
answer,
bet you they don't have
Tunaja,
Hold
if
on.
you
Pan-Africanism
cannot
in
answer the,
it.
if you can't answer the
Give
question,
me
you
a
can't
list
ask
of
a
Russian
question.
allies
No,
that
no,
are
no,
doing well.
Tunaja, we're not gonna
And
do it
now
today. No, no, no,
the
no, no, no,
number
no, no,
of
Tunaja,
Western
Tunaja,
allies
we're
that are
not
doing
doing that
Tunaja,
today.
very
We're gonna
well.
Yeah, this
stick on
ain't
our
going
guns.
nowhere.
Spending
Yo, Tunisia, you
Tunaja,
so
get
that you
30
can know that the
seconds.
problem
He
is not
get
with the
30 seconds to
allies,
respond.
it's on the
Tunaja,
Tunisia, you
empire.
heard me?
The
respond to the
Yo,
question.
Tunisia, you got
Respond to the
30
question and ask your
seconds.
question.
Go.
list,
yeah. One thing I have to agree with you
countries
too,
that
Niger,
are
is
allied
that we
with
have to be
Russia that
careful
are
of
doing very
America
well
and China
versus
getting
Wait,
countries that
together.
hold
are allied with the
on.
West
It's
that are doing very
Tunisia
well.
30
List them.
seconds. Let him get it
You guys
out.
are giving Tunaja
Pause.
bloody faces.
Go ahead,
Let me feel
Tunisia.
sorry
30
for him.
seconds.
Let
Go.
him speak. Let him speak.
Okay, okay. Who's your direct enemy?
List, list the Russian allies that are doing very
Damn,
well
man.
versus
God
Western
damn,
allies
bro.
that are doing
Really,
very
you
well.
guys need
Let's
you
list
this
them.
guy. Hey,
Because if
Giannis,
you
man. Put him
it's like
backstage, man. Hey, you guys are gonna
so
hey man.
brainwashed that you
Put
just
him
assume
backstage,
Nah,
that
man.
man, like
just
you
because
can
you're
give
allied
him
with the
30
Russians,
minutes.
you're
I
gonna
mean
be doing
30
well. That
seconds,
is
bro.
wrong way to look at
30 seconds
anything
to be over
because
and
you can't
somebody
easily
else
be
can
listening.
Yep.
respond.
You
And
can't
also,
trust Russia.
Just give him
Can you
30
allow other people to
seconds.
speak?
what is there
Can
for
you
you
allow
guys
other
to
people
speak?
to
You
speak,
guys
man?
are so ignorant,
Can you allow?
like
Okay,
children.
Go
okay.
ahead,
No,
But we
in all
know
Tunisia.
that.
fairness,
But we
Take your
know that.
30 seconds,
Yo,
Tunisia.
let me come
It's
in. Let
on
me
you.
come
Hey,
in.
Let's
fellas,
listen
but
to
left,
you so I
please
can
don't
give you
Yo,
answers so
interrupt
that
but
him.
if you don't
left,
Please
answer
left the
that
don't
man,
question, you
left
interrupt
the
tell
man
him.
the
made,
truth of things.
left,
Answer
make the
that
man
Go ahead,
talk,
question to
Tunisia.
make the
understand the
man
Yeah,
talk.
but
truth of
the
what
man
I'm telling you.
not
Go
stop.
ahead, Tunisia.
Let family
Tunaja,
talk.
you're
Make
gonna be
yourself,
put
make sure
backstage, man.
yourself
Like
Now,
back.
we
Wow.
tried
list
yesterday.
Wow.
Because no, 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 no.
list allies of Russia that are doing very well,
Listen to
No, no,
this
no,
and
no,
man
no,
list
talk,
no.
man. Let family
allies
Listen,
of
talk.
listen,
Russia that are
listen.
doing very well.
You want
Let's see
answers,
which
we're
one of
gonna
them.
Tunaja,
give you answers. But you can't
Tunaja,
answer the
listen to
question.
this,
That's the
yeah?
problem, Tunaja.
Listen to this. Listen to
I
this.
can answer the question. I already answered the
I
question.
understand
What's
what
wrong
you're
with you?
saying, yeah, Tunaja. I understand what
Mm.
you're saying in terms of democracy, yeah. In terms of it, you know, that there is different like strands, yeah, and there's ways of working out democracy. But what you have to understand, the way the West deal with Africa is different. Yeah, that democracy that they
Exactly.
have. The democracy which they have brought over to Africa is completely different to the ones that they brought over to Asia. Because with them, they share technology with them. They're more likely
Right.
to share technology. When it
Do you
comes
think
to Africa,
is this
they
because
don't
of
share
them
I
or is
technology.
it
disagree with
because of
But
that.
this is
Russia?
what
Tunaja,
I'm
in
trying
all
to say
fairness,
to
let
you.
I
God give
Is
grace.
that
No,
disagree.
God
Why
gift,
are
democracy
you
is
God gift,
giving
bogus.
God
credit to
gift,
them? Why you
God
making
Democracy is
gift,
yourself
bogus in
irrelevant to them?
Africa.
I'm telling you, I'm living in Africa
This
and I
guy,
see that
this
our
guy,
people, we are
that's
so
what he does.
ignorant.
We've
Our
been
people
knowing
are
him
so
for 10
ignorant.
years. We've been knowing
They
him for
blame
10
other
years. That's
people
what he
for
does
things.
every time.
For real.
When he got no point, he wanna attack, he wanna be loud, he wanna
Yeah.
derail the
Yeah.
conversation.
I've
When you
seen
ask
Yeah.
him a direct question, when you ask him a direct question,
what question have you
Tunaja will
asked?
show you. Tunaja
Just
will
shut up.
show you his
Basic.
true
You're
color.
talking
Just a
nonsense.
direct and
Hold
simple
on.
question. Tunaja will
Basic.
show
Niger,
you
all
his,
you have
his
to
He
true
didn't
say
color.
ask
was
any
the
question. You didn't
white
ask any question.
line.
Even when they give you
All
the
you
answer,
have
It's
to
a
you
say.
still
one
be panicking
question.
like a
It's one
retarded
question.
person.
Tunaja, who's attacking Nigeria? Who's attacking Nigeria? You don't know.
Who told
But
you I don't know?
yeah,
I told you that Western powers
I
are
just
against
asked
us.
you.
but when I don't make the
What
man one
powers are
cry.
against us? What powers
Yeah,
are against us?
respectfully, to Niger,
Including
They,
you
China.
they have a
China
know
is
name.
not
ice
helping.
swap.
China
Tunaja, they
is
have a
You
taking
don't
up
name.
even
and
have
They
a
have a
seeing
clue.
name,
You
mineral
Tunaja.
from
talk
Nigeria.
as
What
me.
are you talking about?
They have a name,
China is
Tunaja.
also helping bandits to steal
Crazy
this thing,
Niger,
Tunisia.
not
Hold up.
Niger,
resources
not cry, oh, not
from
cry.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Who do you think is taking all the mineral
Man,
resources from
go get a
DRC?
seat, man. Man, go
Who do you think
go
is
sit
taking all
somewhere,
the
man.
mineral resources from
Go
DRC?
sit somewhere, man.
And
James. St. James.
But
St. James.
equality.
These are the same people. These are the same people that call the white man to come and help them. These are the same people that come to invade Nigeria.
Become a
These are the
Sahel
same people.
list in the
You are
panel.
the same people.
It's ridiculous. The way you guys are behaving are just silly.
Because
No, Tunaja. Actually, they give you 30 seconds. Let other people speak, man. I thought you were going to give me an answer. You did not. So let other people speak.
An answer. Move on.
What's the name, though? What's the name?
Oh, you want me to name?
Yes.
China, US, France, UK. Name all the powers, including India.
Oh, so your enemy is in Nigeria right now fighting terrorism for you?
All of them.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Hey, to my people in Nigeria, man. We're doomed, man. We are very doomed.
Yeah.
We are very doomed.
Hey, that country,
right.
you cannot.
Let me say
something real quick, right?
No, but you don't say it.
30 seconds. No, hold on. Two legends. Just 30 seconds.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Look at how they're behaving.
Okay, St. James. 30 seconds.
So irresponsible. They can't even think straight.
Sorry. Two Niger. Just 30 seconds. 30 seconds, right? Because I'm gonna be quiet. In West Africa, right? we cannot wait for Nigeria to come save West Africa. If we think Nigeria is going to be the foundation to save us, we are totally wrong.
Ben, do you know the
That
expression?
can
Do you know the Ben? No, Tunaja, relax. Tunaja, relax, man. Ben, do you know the Ben? Tunaja, relax. Tunaja, relax. Do you know the expression leading from behind?
Oh, mind your business.
This is Nigeria right there. This is Tunaja right there for you. You cannot, don't allow it. That is failure. They want to lead from behind. We are in front, and they want to do it from behind. We can't allow it.
That's what I keep saying.
Wait. But when you say behind, in what aspect are you saying it? Because economically,
and they're waiting for Nigeria to come save us, man. That is wrong. That is wrong.
No, but the only
I will give the Sahel nations
because end of the day, right? And end of the day, right?
Ben,
defend their interests.
Bengo.
Yeah,
Tunaja, I was about to respond to you. Right? Let me break it down for you. Maybe you heard me say that once. You know what the Sahel stand on? We look at every nation that you mentioned, right? We just went from record to see who helped to stabilize the Sahel. Libya. Who voted yes, right? All these people who agree to destabilize Libya and kill Gaddafi, we told them clearly, whatever that is happening in the Sahel, we're not going to use you anymore. We use partner like Russia. You have your grievances with Russia, that's fine, but that's our partner. Respect that. But you guys, look at your partners. You sit on here as a Nigerian telling me my enemy is helping me fight my enemy from within. That's scary. It's very scary. Your position is very scary. As a Nigerian, you should be scared about that. You know, for us, right, in the Sahel, we have let me finish. Let me finish. That's the context. Somebody that destabilizes you will never fix you. You understand the mindset of the Sahelian? That when they destabilize you, they cannot help fix you. That's why we told them what is happening. We're gonna do it ourselves. And if they want to help us, we're going to tell them what we need from them. They cannot put boots on the ground. They will never put boots. Let me finish, though. Let me finish. Let me finish, though. Let me land my plan, though. Can I land my plan?
Willie, let him land, then he can come in, brother.
You will do it. Any country can help us. But for you guys, right? You said the United States. Why the United States is putting boots in Nigeria if they're your enemy? You told me, I asked you the question, I pressed you, and you told me the United. Okay.
How can you not know that? Because they own Tinubu. How are you asking the question?
But you came and attacked the AES, though.
In all fairness, Tunaja knows that because even in
you attacked the AES.
I'm surprised you attacked the AES.
See, no, Tunaja, you did attack. Okay, Tunaja, let me finish, though. You said, no. Regardless of what the Russians are doing, right? If you guys are helping the French and the French are helping the Jenim, the Azawad, what do you think is going to happen to the Sahel? What do you really you think is going to happen with all the firepower we got in the Sahel? We are motivated, right? If you guys are not helping out, you guys are giving all your support to the French, and the French are backing all this Jenim group, Azawad. What do you think is going to happen? You guys are helping make us weak. That's what it is. Helping make us weak.
That's what Macron said he was bringing
Nigeria
over.
is not going to go and start fighting Niger or Burkina Faso.
Man. Don't listen to Macron numbers, man.
Nigerians never support it.
He's not going to bring.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That money, man.
Tunaja, it's not a direct support. I'm not talking about a direct support from Nigeria, but I'm just saying if you list your enemy, and I'm telling you, French is also the enemy, and Nigeria is helping the French. What do you think is going to happen? French is going to help your enemy too. Fight us. French when the benefit. Okay, when Tinubu is in Kenya, right? Tinubu is in Kenya, right? Us in the Sahel, we are holding one leg. We are holding the French. They know who we are. That's why they run away from West Africa. We are doing our part. And now you guys are holding the other leg, helping them not to fall. That's what you are doing. Basically.
Okay,
who's helping who?
Just like Niger was also housing an American military base drone base that I was complaining about here, that drone base could fly an American jet straight to Aso Rock for decades.
I
When I
agree
was
with
complaining
that.
about African leaders,
When
blame
Chani took
Africans.
power, what
Cannot be
happened?
topic of what- That's the topic of the discussion. African leaders are betraying us. Why are you making it look like it's just Nigerians that are doing
No,
it?
no, no.
I know
You don't understand. You came on here. You took a shot at the AES
No,
that look
Naja,
at the relationship with
it
Russia.
wasn't exactly
You
that.
did
I
that.
think that
That's why I
Macron
wanted
came
to
to say
correct you by saying it doesn't matter about the partner. You guys all kind of partner in Nigeria, but it's
I
not
think that's the
working.
beef. That's the beef. I think
You're not
to Naja, that's the
understanding
beef you
what
got
I'm
with him.
saying. You're modeling it up. I don't know
No,
whether
no,
it's
no. It's not about model.
what
You
I'm
take a
saying
shot
is
at the
that
ADS. I'm returning the favor. I'm
you're
returning
modeling
the
it up.
favor. I'm returning the favor.
Keep talking and talking. What
Yeah,
I'm
now,
saying is
Tunaja, listen, Tunaja, what you're trying to do is not going to work here. You know that, right? It's not going to work here. I have known you for over 5 years. It's not going to work here.
they will know
It's
what
upper
I'm saying.
versus
No. What are you saying? We know that. We already know that. You're not adding anything new. Basically, you're
the
trying
last
to
time was
hide
having
your.
Monrovia Union
No,
War. Today is upper
you're trying to hide his
versus
embarrassment. That his president is there selling out. Tinubu's there selling out. You're embarrassed about that.
Mali or Niger, if they don't get what they need to get from Russia to make themselves truly sovereign, it's not going to matter. Before long, they're going to end up like every other African country that is also a failure.
Don't you know we're working on that all day, every day? Don't you know we're working on that? If Russia wasn't there, if Russia wasn't not Tunaja, if Russia was not in Mali, what happened in Mali? Russia would have fell. Mali would have
let me
fell.
say one thing, St. James. Let me just. Sorry, Bam. Sorry. So just go back to the topic, all right? For me, what I'm seeing is, it's just a level of desperation. Critical minerals, cheap energy, is all tangled up in this geopolitics that we're looking at today.
Desperation for what?
Sorry.
Desperation for what? Is a level of desperation for what?
From the west.
Minerals for minerals and supplies to make Western products. I get what he's
That's right. Yeah, and the cheap energy.
You literally added what you're saying. You don't even know.
Tunaja, you need to relax and listen. You talk a lot. You need to relax and listen.
You guys talk as you are talking smart.
No. It's talk. No. Tunaja, you know why these Africans are talking like that? No. You know why? You know in America. You know what we say, right? We were expecting the Tunaja. We were expecting the kingdom come. The kingdom done. That's what's happening. The kingdom is done. Nigeria ain't coming. We told you that. Nigeria ain't coming. They're leading from behind. So listen. No. Listen. No, Tunaja. Listen to me. What are you doing, right? 5 years from now, right? You will come back and say, St. James, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You knew something, bro. You see all the vitriol there. No, let me tell you. You see all the vitriol AES take, right? We put ourselves in position for that. All the you see no Tunaja. You understand why all these things is happening in the Sahel. That should make sense to you, because we are on the right path. If we were now on the right path, right? French Macron wouldn't be speaking on us or about us in Kenya. He wouldn't be doing that. He's not speaking on Nigeria. There is a reason why he's not speaking on Nigeria, and your president is over there sleeping all day, every day with him. There is a reason for that.
Let me tell you what the
AES is
The problem we have in West Africa is having people like this as neighbors. That's the
fight
problem.
for their mutual defense. That is their biggest achievement. That is the only thing I can say. Okay, that sets the AES apart. They are able to come together for their mutual defense. That's something all African countries have not managed to do. Yes, I'll give them that credit, but that doesn't mean we are out of the woods yet. They've not built
Who
anything.
said that? We said we out. We on here said we out.
Hold on. He just gave credit.
You just interrupt me all the time.
Okay.
It doesn't mean
No, you don't know this guy. You don't know this guy, Willie. I know him.
So your job now is just to be interrupting me and stalking
Man,
the
keep
conversation.
talking, man. Just talk. Just talk.
You cannot monopolize the conversation.
Just talk. Go ahead and talk.
And pass the mic.
You just want to block people from hearing the truth. The truth is
Man, just go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You still didn't answer the question that I asked you.
Man, just talk, man.
Told you what I saw as positive development by the AES. Now I asked you a simple question. List the allies that are working with Russia that are doing very well. Then I will list the same allies working with the West that are doing very well. Now, so that will reveal something to you. I want to teach you something. Now you list your allies. List 5 allies of the Russians that are doing very well, and I will list 5 of the West. Go.
Do you think North Korea is doing bad in terms of the? No. Let me ask this. In terms of the military, do you think North Korea is doing bad?
Hold on.
Hey, yo, you know,
Let me
I've been very quiet, right? I'm gonna be 2 seconds, but it's something I just realized, right? I'm gonna be 2 seconds, bro. I'm gonna be 2 seconds. I would have been done. I'm gonna be 2 seconds, bro. I've been quiet,
Okay,
right?
go on,
So I'm
Willie.
gonna keep
Yes,
it
go on.
short. I just realized something, right? Just listening to Niger.
Niger, just mute now, man. You're talking. Yeah, enough.
He is African Boule, right? And I understand like the reasoning
He
for
doesn't
it
know
because
what a boule is. You gotta explain it to him. He doesn't know what a boule is.
I'm a card carrying.
He's British. He's British. He's British.
Who's
Nah,
British?
he's not. He's not.
No,
He's not.
he's
He's not.
British.
He's not British, man.
Nah,
He's
but
a- he's a
look,
very-
wait, my DC bro. Look,
You are
like, but you
anti-intellectual
know,
discussion.
I'm a
You
card
swap
carrying member of the Black
ridiculous
American Boule,
assertions.
right? So I wasn't
Yeah, okay.
shooting at it when I was saying that. I'm saying I understand the premise he's coming from when he's saying what he's saying. Yeah, I
What
mean
is the premise?
it's Black Boule talk. It's the talk. It's the talk of
You see,
something
they
is
just
in
talk.
power.
They don't make sense. Everyone just talk.
More
No context, no
by
nothing.
aligning yourself with it. And, you know what I mean?
Man, Tunaja, mute,
What
man.
the heck?
It's not me. You
Who's
should ask
that?
yourself.
That's Tunaja
Not me.
chill.
So I
Nah,
asked him
because
to list
Tunaja, I was
5.
actually
He
kind
couldn't
of
even list
agreeing with
5.
you,
He
right?
couldn't list 5 to save us.
Yo, he
So
be tweaking,
I wanted
man.
to teach him a lesson that he doesn't seem to
Okay,
understand.
so what lesson?
Who you ally with.
Yo,
It's not
Okay,
about
Tunaja, it'll be way more
Russia has
impactful.
Russia has a
It'll be
partnership
way
with
more
China. Isn't
impactful.
China powerful?
See,
Isn't China
yes,
powerful? No, I'm asking you.
of course China is powerful.
They have a relationship with Japan. Japan is not powerful.
Japan is powerful.
Do they have a relationship with North Korea in terms of military agreement? Is North Korea powerful in terms of military?
North Korea is powerful in terms of
Militarily,
military.
Okay.
yeah.
How many else do we want? 2 more?
Japan is not an ally of this thing of Russia, by
Are
the
you
way.
kidding me? Look it
Japan
up,
is
bro.
not an ally of Russia. Are you nuts?
They have partnership though. They do.
What is wrong with this guy? No, they don't.
Okay. I'll look it up.
Okay, it's Tunaja.
What is wrong
Tunaja.
with
Guinea
this
is
guy?
one of
They
the.
don't know what you're talking
Guinea
about
is a
anymore.
country who partnered. Guinea, Republic of Guinea partnered with Russia, and militarily they managed to secure their border. That's one good fact.
Guinea.
Russia
yeah,
went to Central Africa. They helped Central Africa. They helped Mozambique. They helped South Africa. They helped South Africa. How many countries now? We what? Six?
No.
So when it
You
comes
said
to
5.
security,
You said 5. I gave you.
guys,
China,
one second. Tunaja, let me help you. When it comes to security,
Wait, I actually want to see how
please,
Tunaja is going to respond to that because he gave you 5.
Nah, he been babbling all day. He had enough.
You come back trying to act like you tough.
Yeah,
You come back like you tough, man. You come from a very smart tribe.
Let me exchange with you now.
man.
Since he says,
Yeah, a white man
he
give you
mentioned
power.
he
Get
mentioned
out of here, man.
Guinea.
The white
He
man give
mentioned
you
countries
power.
that are not allied
chill,
with
God.
You come from a useless
Hey, yo,
tribe.
DC,
He mentioned
chill,
countries that are not
God.
allied
No,
with
leave.
Russia.
No, Bang, left the tribe. Bang, left the tribe business.
Sometimes some of these people,
No,
man,
no,
they come from
leave
a
that.
very
Chill,
small tribe.
DC.
The white man gave them
No,
power.
Bang, leave the tribe
Now,
alone.
let's
Let him tribe. No, I disagree.
There's some love
Bang.
sophisticated to the white man.
Bang, no, leave it. Leave the tribe.
No, you cannot
Oh,
persuade
Left him tribe.
that one, he just there talking.
Left him tribe. Yeah.
You
So the only
persuade two nights.
Hold on,
Two
you
nights
getting
comes in
somewhere,
because
man.
the
Let's
white man
get back
gives
to
him
one at
power.
a time.
If you don't know how to
The white man give you power. That's why. The white man give you power. The white man give you power. The white man give you power.
Let's get back to actual
The white
discussion.
man civilized you. The white man civilized you.
So,
Now, let me
he
answer your
named
question.
Cuba.
Right? Let me answer your question about Russia. Let me answer your question about Russia.
Okay,
because it looks like okay. Now look at because a lot of people say, oh, what socialism does not do nothing around the world and stuff like that, right? Okay, now look at it, right? the people that goes around the world, conquer other people, right? It started with Spain, and then it went to British and so-called America and all that, right? So technically, it is the same people. Just like how if we want to come up here, right, and praise America, right? The British people did all the work, the infrastructures, how to rule the world, how to be empire, and then hand it to America. America just continue it without the world attached to the dollar, right? America would not be powerful at what it is. So if you gave that same advantage to Russia, Russia would be 20 times more powerful. 20 more times more powerful. The only reason why you see America is powerful because of what? The energy that's traded in dollar.
And they got the power to impose sanctions. They impose sanctions on Russia. So Russia is not, whatever Russia is doing under duress. Tunaja, do you understand? And they are still able to do it. Under duress, they're doing it. Under big sanctions, Russia is still helping. No, Tunaja, I made a mistake about Japan. Let's remove Japan and put out the Philippines. So these are 5-6 countries, and let's add India.
No, bam. Make us talk.
Good. Okay. Let's do by turn. Africa. You speak, and after that to Niger. Then we can go to what's his name?
Okay. So what I'm saying is, right?
My bad. Wall Street.
But Tunaja, did I answer the question though?
Yeah, you answered about 3 that I got.
No, I gave you 2 more. I gave you the Philippines and I gave you India. That's 5.
India.
And the Philippines.
Some of those countries you are describing, they are just as allied to the West. So those ones are neutral.
That's fine. But I answered the question.
Only Russian ally. If you mention South Africa, I will give you that even because South Africa is part of BRICS and is mostly closer to, even if they still have some relationship with the West, but the government generally is leaning towards Russia. I'll give you South Africa. But
we gave you South Africa. I
can name South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, put all European countries. If you put all of them,
give an African country. Give us an African country.
In Africa that are aligned to the West, Egypt, Morocco, and even Algeria. I wouldn't say Algeria. Tunisia. So these are nations that are aligned. If you want to use black African countries that are losers, okay, you want to. I'm talking about the ones that are doing well.
Give us black Africa. Give us Black Africa.
Half of Africa is Western leaning, or more than half of Africa is Western leaning.
What did they get? Power? Did they get military power? Did they get military power? I'm asking you. Did they get any military power from the partnership?
They don't.
Okay. Yeah. They're still trading with wood, right? They're still trading with wood and sticks, right?
I'm getting to the core of the argument that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
That it doesn't matter who you ally with because
it matters, Tunaja. It matters.
Listen. Let me finish.
It matters.
No, it matters.
You are looking it through the lens of if you align yourself with a powerful nation, that's an all and be all. It's not true. It's not true.
It matters in the sense that depending on whether the person is directly fighting you or not at that moment. But if Japan is allied to the West, that are actually their enemy, the West nuked Japan and they are allies with them today, that should tell you something. North Korea, South Korea is able to align with the West.
You still don't understand. Wherever we align with, who colonize us, who enslave us, they will always come back and conquer us. It doesn't matter.
To show that your argument is actually not
No. Your argument is weak. You understand? Listen, Tunaja, let me tell you something. The partnership that you mentioned. Let me finish the partnership. Let me finish. Let me give you 1 minute. Let me give you 1 minute of my talk. All this beautiful partnership you talk about the West, right? These are beautiful partnerships. But when it comes to Africa, right? Africa is a different ball game. You see the people that are enslaved. You allow it to enslave your own people, they will never give you a good partnership. Wow. Never, ever. Okay, I'm telling you, you can dream about it. You can listen.
More emotive language, just to
you see, you were the one asking Obama. You want logistic. They refuse. Tunaja, I'm not learning anything from you. What you're saying is very old. It's very old.
Shut your trap.
Okay.
The reality is that
Let me make a point, right?
You know, Tunaja, we thought, Tunaja, in the Sahel, right? In the Sahel, we thought we had a good partnership with the European Union. Tunaja, let me tell you, you refuse to listen. Tunaja, no, Africa. Let me tell him about the nature of the partnership. What he doesn't understand, these relationships are very dynamic. These relationships are very dynamic. He doesn't understand it. Let me finish. We in the Sahel, we thought.
No, I just let you finish what you are saying, and now you're interrupting me again.
Okay, you keep talking. Go ahead and talk. Yeah, just go ahead and talk.
My point is that, okay, don't interrupt me. Give me 1 minute at most. I'm not going to go up to 1 minute even. It's a very simple point. Depending on who you ally yourself with, it doesn't necessarily determine your outcome. What determines your outcome is how you approach your allies, how you propose to them the relationship you're going to ally with them on. Because if you look at the way the Chinese allied themselves with the Soviet Union, it enabled them to develop to the point that they got to right now. If you look at the way the Taiwanese did the same, or the Lin Kuan Yew, all of them, it depends on how you do it. The way our African leaders do it, they always ally with the West in such a way that they will just be demanding training and weak demands. That's all they have. They don't see themselves as a people that should be able to assert themselves. It doesn't matter who you ally yourself with. It's what you demand from them. You have to demand more from your allies. You can't just go and telling them to give you training or give you a little bit of mine detection tools or give you more training to fly drones. Then later on you go and start asking them for manuals to how you're going to use the drones. That doesn't help your people. You have to learn to start building your own things yourself. You have to demand. Do you know what the Chinese did for the Soviet did for the Chinese? The Soviet helped them, give them ballistic missiles and this thing.
But you're contradicting yourself again, fool.
Industries for them. See, my point is that why do you think the Soviets were able to do that when this in Chamama went to the Soviet
Anyway, I'm gonna
Union
make it proper tea. Let me go and make it proper tea.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Okay, I went one. If you want to stop me,
you say one. No. You say you want 1 minute. We give you two.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I give ground on that one. If you want me to stop, I will stop.
No. Go ahead.
If you want me to stop, I'll stop. Okay. So when Chamama went to China the first time, the first thing he demanded from them was their nuclear technology. Can you imagine going to a superpower that just developed nuclear technology as their cutting edge weapon? You are demanding for it. Can you imagine Nigerians going to this in America right now to go and demand Americans give them their best jet fighter, the one that they are working on in secret on? That's what equivalent of what Chamamao did. But right now, if you see our leaders, when they go to the West or they go to Russia, they just demand their old machines. They just demand old stuff. I don't understand why we are so. Why do we feel like we are not worthy? Is it because we are actually not worthy?
Mm-hmm.
That is the problem. It doesn't matter who you ally yourself with. You are going to still have the same problem if our mindset don't demand more from our alliances. That's what I'm trying to make.
So basically, what you are telling us, right? Based on what you observe in Africa, West Africa, especially in the Sahel. So you think Traore and them going to Russia, they're getting all materials. They don't ask for more because they are so narrow-minded and they don't see what we're up against. That's your assessment, right? So when you see you cut. No. Let me. So okay, everything is in progress, right? If you look at it, you're talking about training. Traore is one of the first leader in Africa that stood on his ground and said that no foreign government will never train our military again. If you look at Burkina Faso right now, we are training ourselves. So what you are talking about is irrelevant to me. That's what I told you. You don't have the information. Your information is outdated. Traore is not relying on nobody anymore. Our reliance is based on the equipment we order from Russia, because when you order them, there is also a clause that will allow them to come here and train you on your new equipment. That's it. No Russia is training our military any longer. That's what Traore said. That's why he didn't understand when Ghana, when they signed their partnership, they said Africans have to learn how to train their own soldiers because we know the terrain, we know everything around us, so a foreigner cannot come do that best for us. So Traore has already did that part to Niger. He already did that part. AES already is doing it.
Hey guys, we got to close out. Hey, everyone, thank you for joining. Like, share, subscribe to Next Time Family Dynasty. Much for peace.